stuff.
With the stuff. All right, I think we're live. Looks like we're rolling. It's happening, Fishing friends. Welcome to another Saturday Night Live. We're here to have some fun tonight. Randall's calling in from jail. Randall, I appreciate your dedication and calling in from the old pin there, wherever you're at. Randall's on location. We appreciate Randy getting a spot set up. And Mr. Bobby Roast Beef from the Jigs and Bigs Podcast. Yep. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing all right, guys. I'm doing all right. You know, it's a little Saturday Night Live stream. This is good.
I get jealous of his voice. Arguably the best voice in the fishing biz. We were just talking before. I was on his podcast. Gosh, that's been probably almost close to a year ago.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, we've been trying to set up time, and things happen and never get on. So I was like, dude, we need to set a date. Finally got a date set, but I was talking before because I couldn't remember if he said you had an actual radio show or not. We were just talking before. He's like, no, he's done some some voice work and he was talking about he used to work in media. I'm like, dude, you have the voice for the radio show. So I had to shout that out. His voice makes me jealous.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I do though. I talk for a living.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Talking fishing, talking bank fishing tips. Mm-hmm. Who knows where we're going to end up going? And everything is welcome. Doesn't matter where we go on these little side journeys. We'll start out with bank fishing, and I'm sure we'll end up talking about like favorite taco seasoning or who knows what.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. I like to make my own concoction of taco seasoning. Just saying.
Oh, Dizzle, no, Gator Adventures. We got a whole bunch of people in here already. 108 people jumping in. Awesome, love y'all. Let's Fall Outdoors. All my members. I think I just checked, and I don't remember how many members, but it's growing. The Debo Fishing Squad memberships are growing. Camp Waffle Stomper, she says, or Randall's being held hostage somewhere. If he holds up a newspaper, I'm going to start assembling a ransom. Yeah, he wasn't going to go live tonight.
Today is the 4th. I'm so thirsty and so hungry. Send help.
Put the lotion on and shut up. So yeah, tonight I'm sure we're going to be going around everywhere tonight. It's going to get crazy. But Mr. Bobby Roast Beef, tell us about you. What is your story into fishing? Give us the 30-second elevator speech. Where you are, what you're doing, what's going on.
I am just a guy that likes to fish as often as I can, and
same as us here.
Any fashion that I can, really, whether it's a in a kayak on the best is somebody else's boat. That's like somebody else's boat. That's key for me.
Yes.
And I just wanted to, get into the circle of like creating fishing content. I've always been, just the whole content creator world. I'm talking like from all different sort of elements. Like, have you guys ever seen this YouTube channel called Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link?
Oh, yeah, amazing. I think I have. They do weird stuff.
Yeah? Yes, they do. It's just unbelievable. But that resonates with me because I've got a television background. I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, I would love to just do something, and create some kind of content. And then, 2020 bought me this amazing opportunity to do so because I had nothing better to do than fish. And I decided I had done podcasts in the past, and I figured I would just start there because the truth be told, I'm lazy and I just didn't want to go and edit a bunch of video and then do all that. So I figured I would just.
It's a pain. It really is a pain.
Yeah. Audio on its own, it's just one thing. It's nice and easy. So, I just went and I stayed in my comfort zone and kind of blossomed out from there. And then it just kind of grew into this amazing thing where, like, I can't believe the episode that drops this coming Tuesday is going to be episode 108. It blows my mind that I can say 108 episodes of this show, which is kind of our fishing podcast is kind of like the fishing podcast about nothing. We're like the Seinfeld of fishing.
I was just going to say the Seinfeld of podcasts.
Yeah, because a lot of it's not fishing, which makes it fun. That's how people get to know you. You get off on these tangents and talk stuff that's not fishing. It's like, oh, I can relate to this guy. It's not just we're gonna put on a seminar every time we talk. Like, let's have fun. That's what the lives are for.
And we try really hard to give a little bit of value to what we're doing, but some of that value definitely entertainment.
And I was going to ask, how long has that been then? The 108 episodes.
We started. It'll be 2 years on April 8th.
2 years. Wow.
Yeah, in 2
It
years.
goes quick, dude. It really does. When you're
Right.
head down grinding, it's
Unbelievable.
Mr. Ramon Outdoors, Bobby Roast Beef in the
Ramon
house,
Outdoors.
$5 bomb, brother. I'll cheers to that. Thank you, good sir.
Absolutely. Ramon is killing it. Actually, he's got 2 points in the Jigs and Bigs nationwide online fishing tournament series that we started on Friday.
Yeah, tell us about this. I saw that on your Instagram page. What's the deal with this?
So what we do is we got lucky early on. We connected with an organization from around here called Chronic Trips, and if you use your imagination, you might figure what they're kind of all about. But they wanted to do something during the whole pandemic to kind of get people outside. That's really what they're all about. They do a lot of geocaching stuff and like camping trips, group stuff. It's very, very outdoors focused, and fishing fits right in there. So they wanted to do a tournament. So they were doing a bi-monthly, and they like to keep it as wide open as they can. So it's fresh and saltwater, multi-species. It's interesting. Almost anything goes. It's really kind of crazy. And then when I started the show, I always wanted to get into a situation where we had our own tournaments where we can engage with people and actually fish with them and just keep people, engaged by talking about the competition that's going on over the course of a month. So we launched ours this year. We're doing the shows. We're doing the Jigs and Bigs one in April, June, August, and October. And it's a month-long multi-species tournament where we have basically North America's top sport fish species. And as long as the trick is, and I'm giving away some information here, it's not about getting like one big fish. It's about getting multi-species. It's about getting out there and downsizing and catching everything you can and measuring it. It's pretty cool. And I'm not really into competitive fishing much at all. I think it's interesting, but it's just not really my thing. But this has been so cool. Like, it's a great way to engage with people and have some fun. And,
see that's the part of it. Yeah, that's the part of it's big. Cause I don't remember what it was a while ago. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try one of these online things. But every time I kept like trying to enter my stuff and I take a picture, wouldn't upload from the places we were fishing. I'm like, this is just baloney. But
you were making me give all my fish that I caught to you so you could take pictures of them. And you were cheating.
No, people would know that 5-pounder. This guy doesn't catch 5-pounders. No, but so I kind of got out of it after that. But that's the thing that would be fun, is just doing it for the fun part and meeting people, especially because you're up. Are you in Rhode Island? Where are you at up there?
I'm in Massachusetts, and we've got anglers in Wisconsin, Texas, further down the East Coast. Where else do we have any? I mean, we've got probably about 20, 25 now. What happens is a lot of people, they get a little nervous pre-registering, and they'll wait until they go out and they catch something that's decent. Then they find them downloading the app and jumping in. So today, I think we had like 3 or 4 people sign on. So it's in registration's open till the 15th. People can join anytime they want. Realistically, it could take you one really great fishing day to just win the whole thing. We've got prizes, cash prizes for the winners. And we've been doing, we kind of surprised some people. The first fish caught, it was a largemouth. They won a Jigs and Bigs waterproof Bluetooth speaker. So we'll give it a while. And if we see there's like a species that hasn't gotten any love yet, nobody's caught like a bowfin or even a catfish, then we'll go ahead and we'll throw that out there and say, hey, catch one of these, be the first one to submit this, and you'll win this prize. So it's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. They have like I know my local bait shop where I'm from. They have a board. They have just like a classic whiteboard written up, and they have the species that are around my area. And anybody that catches a big one, they bring it down to the bait shop and they weigh it and whatever. And if you like win at the end of the season, you get like a gift card or something like that. It doesn't cost anything to enter, but just little things like that to get people out there and try to catch a fish they haven't caught before. They even do like a smallest fish caught and stuff like that too. It's really interesting to, different ways people are still trying to get, more newer people out there and trying to fish. So it's awesome ideas.
Yeah. The meeting people part is cool too. Like not only from a tournament, but, just, Instagram and stuff. So even if you would be able to use that not as much of like, competing. The competing part would just be fun, but seeing, XYZ is here close to me, or just like Ronald asked if I've ever fished together. I have not fished with Bobby. He's clear up in the wild blue and northeastern yonder, far from Iowa. But we got a bunch of people in here for you, Bobby. Swamp Rat Fishing. I saw a couple other people. The views are kind of rolling. And when I was on your podcast, I remember Wild Bill, nice guy, and then was it Zach that hated Old Bay? And I will literally remember him because of that conversation the whole time. That he's like, no, Lackwoods, Zach Lackwood or something.
Lockwood, Lockwood Fishing. Yeah. That's Cody. Oh man.
He was so pissed when I was like, oh yeah, I don't remember what we got to talk about fish. I'm like, yeah, Old Bay's good. He's like, Old Bay's crap. He's like, he was talking about like whatever local one up there.
He's in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in Maryland, and man, I've gotten the chance to meet him a few times in person. He came up for our 100th episode. We did. We had a little fun with him at last summer's Old Glory Outdoors Invitational, where we just get a bunch of the Hookshead Hoodlums pro staff, and of which Lockwood's one of. And we all get together, and there's some kind of a tournament. We fish, and then there's just a big party afterwards. I think last year we called it Boats and Scroats, and we cooked Rocky Mountain oysters for everybody.
Oh my god! I was just gonna say I don't want to know what you guys cooked at Boats and Scroats, but you answered it, and that's what I was thinking.
Good. If people would close their eyes, the same for cow tongue. Once you actually take the gross part of the cow tongue off and eat cow tongue like sliced, like fried in a pan, dude, you would never know. You'd never know anything about it.
There's nothing better than a tongue sandwich. It's dynamite.
Randy, get your mind out of the gutter. I saw that giggle. Look at Bootleg called it out. I'm here for bank fishing and to send a carrier pigeon on Dizzle's behalf. We've had a lot of people saying they'd rescue you. People saying you were blinking SOS for asking for Casey's Pizza. Somebody said your hat on the wrong way is a signal for help.
I mean, I had to represent Retro
government. I know, dude. Retro just I just dropped a video on some rattle traps and stuff, and he said yes, the old trap life. He's got the best.
So I just got to say real quick, I've worn this hat around quite a bit. The Nebraska area I'm in right now, and people are like, dude, that's an awesome hat. That's an awesome hat. It's an amazing hat. Where'd you get it? And I was like, you give them the website or whatever. And I was like, that's pretty dang cool that, just random dude walking around wearing a random hat, getting approached by random people about how awesome the hat is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Bobby, I should have asked whereabouts. You don't have to say the place. How far are you from Howich, East Howich?
I'm about 2 hours away from there. Okay. I'm much closer to the New York border.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. We had one of my buddies that used to live here. His dad has a cabin up there, and dude, it was so fun. We went out to, what is it? P-Town, Providence Town or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a blast.
So,
we did the historical stuff, and dude, it was a blast. I loved it up there in Boston.
I got to interrupt you real quick, Debo.
Yeah.
The important thing is because there is an actual divide between Debo and myself as it comes to sports ball. I mean, neither one of us are diehard one way or another, although we are. But being Boston area, close to New York, which way do you swing? Do you swing the correct way or the Red Sox way?
Oh, I swing the Red Sox way.
Oh God,
100%. Yeah. 100%.
They're breaking up. I can't. What?
See, baseball is one of those sports. There's a few sports where like I'll watch, like when it comes time for like the pennants, World Series, all that stuff. I'll watch, and I don't like have a team in it. Like basketball.
Nah.
I actually just saw my guy Jermaine Mano was on last week. I was kind of talking crap to Jermaine last. I don't know when that was. Whatever night they played the Knicks. And I was like, oh, are you watching them get beat? And then the Bulls ended up getting beat. So I was like,
God, I remember, Debo, we were working out one night, and I don't remember when it was, but Aaron Boone hit the home run, the walk-off. And I was driving down the road. windows down, Aaron Boone honking my horn, flashing my lights, going. It's just like down a 2-lane country road in the middle of nowhere, and people are like, if they heard me or saw me, they'd be like, "This guy is." Somebody call the cops right now. Something's wrong with this guy.
Oh my gosh! So I got to give a shout out. We've got Scott in here, Jig Squad. Obviously, Jigs and Bigs is here. Mr. Randall Williams Soley, brother, I can't believe I've got your stuff. He sent me some stuff to unbox. It's coming up on a year. It's like 9 months since you sent me that. I've got to get that unboxed, and it's going to be a fun unboxing. So I did not forget, my friend, and what you sent me in the envelope really does mean a lot, and that was the coolest part of it. But for everybody that has sent stuff and it's behind, I am way behind. I'm sorry. So what else, Mr. Bobby Roast Beef? What else up there? Your story. So you're in the Northeast. What is your favorite fish to fish for? I know I see you catching bass. What's your favorite though?
Let me just add real quick on that question. What is size, kind of differentials? Because we talked to somebody here in Iowa, and a 5 is a good fish. Like a 5-pound bass is a good fish. So is that same in your neck of the woods? Kind of piggyback on DEBO'S kind of question there.
Yeah, I think so. So my favorite species is smallmouth. I love smallmouth. I just think that pound for pound, they're so much more fun. They just have amazing patterns. They're just awesome. But when it comes to I think actually where we are and where you guys are located, it's probably about the same. Like if you land a 5, you're doing great.
Oh, yeah. So I was gonna look up your state record real quick because I think our state record's only like 10.5.
Our state record's 15, and there are some big ones, but they're rare. And
what?
Yeah, and here's why though. And this will explain the difference between Eastern Mass and Western Mass. So in Eastern Mass, you have areas like around the Cape, which there's all these amazing herring runs. So there's a totally separate food source that those bass are getting, and you've got a lot of these kettle ponds that some of these herring land in. And it's just it's like old country buffet for largemouth. They just go and they just hoard these things and just choke them down. And over on this side of the state, it's the main forage over here is bluegill. So you need, you don't get the luck of having this, although that's not necessarily true. In the Connecticut River, we have a shad run. So that helps a lot. There's some big fish that have come out of the Connecticut River as well. So I mean, I would say for most your typical angler, if you land a 5, you're doing great.
Largemouth, right?
Largemouth, yeah. Oh yeah.
What's your big smallie?
My big smallie, I would say if we're talking weight, I would say if you're over 3.5, 4, something like that. I mean, pretty good sized fish. I mean, there are some tanks that are out there, but there's just
it's kind of the same. I think we're pretty similar in size and such. And what did you catch? I remember you posting the picture of yours, and you said I was still shaking when I took the picture. What did you catch your PB largemouth on? Was it a frog?
No, that was a 6-cent Provoke 106 jerkbait.
Oh, jerkbait. Okay.
Just the wildest day. First off, it was my wedding anniversary last year. I was not fishing. So I'll never forget this day.
And then I got divorced the next day.
I intentionally, we went out to dinner that night, and I left my car I left my phone in the car. And she's like, well, what if the kids need to get in touch with us? And I was like, trust me, they'll be fine. They can always call you. I came out to 300 notifications or more. It was ridiculous. And she's like, thank you. That was much better than you looking at your phone, grinning like, oh yeah, I got a big fish. But I mean, that fish was just absolutely amazing. And it was one of those things where it was so close to the bank when the hit happened. I could and it was just within that threshold of visibility where I just saw this face come up, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good size, 3 or something. All right, we'll see what happens. I gave it one last twitch of that jerkbait, and then just boom, she just took it and took off, and she was 6.66.
Yes,
I got to keep in. I was like, yeah, I'll drink to that.
Right?
Hell yeah, I'll drink to that.
Man.
And that's a big fish around here. I've heard of guys you know, and obviously catching bigger, but I mean, a 6-pounders, that's a tank for around here. If you're catching 6s in Iowa, and I'm not talking like private farm ponds, there's a lot of people that have, and there's nothing wrong with
Oh
that.
yeah.
I'm just jealous I don't have access to it. I wish I did.
Right.
But if you catch a fish, just because it's a private farm pond doesn't mean it's easy, especially here. We don't have the southern strain bass that are bigger and
grow quicker, faster, stronger.
Right. So, and Iowa's kind of weird because we've got, and I get not necessarily weird, but we're kind of lucky because we've got a little bit of everything. You can go fish the Mississippi. I actually just saw Dustin in here. Dustin's another Iowa guy and a member. Thank you, Dustin. He said today's crappy weather. Yeah, we had snow 2 days ago. Today was, I think, 40, high of 40. Like, what the hell, Iowa?
Yeah.
I literally, I've been in shorts and t-shirt all day long. It's like 65
you're just out in Omaha.
today.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
is Omaha farther south?
A little bit, isn't it?
It's straight west, isn't it? Of me?
For you, it's probably straight west. For me, it's probably an hour and a half south of where I am.
Still, it's actually a bit south. You have to go south a decent ways.
Yeah, a little bit further south too than Omaha. But yeah.
Well, anyway, that sucks. Dustin said didn't see at the swap meet in Quad Cities. No, I haven't been out. I'm still a hermit with family stuff and things going on. I pretty much don't go anywhere, but I hope to be out fishing soon. And Dustin, hopefully we can meet up and fish this year. Also, my guy Chris Russ. I don't know that I've seen Chris, but Randy and I are going to go meet up with him and fish. Another good supporter. And there's another question that I just saw roll by. If you guys see anything or if you have anything you want to say, let's get it rolling.
Yeah, I was thinking about pausing real quick just to tilt some stuff around and get a little bit more prepared so I can see the chat going on. So if I have my cam cut off, you know why. You
can just jump out. Yeah, you can jump out. I can.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pause this real quick, and I'll still be here. Just I'll listen.
See if I can do this. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Get out of here, Randall.
It's
Shut
like
up. Quit talking. Get back to your jail cell.
There was a question that had gone by. Somebody had asked about spinner baits in the spring. I forget the name. I think it was Ryan, and I think it started with a C. But asked about spinner baits in the spring. I'm not a big spinner bait guy at all. In fact, they're on the short list.
Actually, the question I was going to ask you, not spinner bait, but go ahead.
So, but the only one I caught today was on a white and yellow or white and chartreuse spinner bait. No trailer hook. Was the only thing I could get bit on today. Little 13 and a half inch dink, nice chunky bass, but
you're welcome on this channel, brother. You know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's it's one of those, it's that time of year where it's cold, and it's things are just starting to warm up. So I was out there this morning at a park I was doing some urban fishing. And I just went and I did, what was it? It was the northwest corner on each small pond that I could find, with just the warmest water, super dirty water. So I was throwing a bunch of stuff at him. I was really hoping to land one on this new swim bait I got from Chris Ellis, Mr. Tightlines.
Oh, yep.
Bruce Gillis. So I was prepared to throw that. And everything had tossed that a bunch, and
I saw that picture. Yeah, hold on.
Oh man, the thing is just it's so loud. It's so unbelievably loud. Normally, I've got to be in the kayak to hear a bait knocking like that, like the Spro rat or anything like that. Yeah, it's a beast.
It's a beauty.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Like
it's
6-7 inches.
I think it's like 5.5 or 6. It's a good size. No, it goes like 4 ounces, 4.5 ounces. It's a big bait, but it just clacks in the water so loud. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go throw this because it takes some mechanics to learn. Got my first really good backlash in my my new 300 reel for 20. So
what'd you get?
What did I do?
I did swim bait setup.
I did a 7 gear. I did it. Oh, me too. I did a 710 Cashin Icon swim bait rod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got a moderate fast because that's the thing. I was looking more for like one kind of like main swim bait setup. So I'm not carrying a bunch of them because I don't even necessarily have the confidence in them. But it's more or less I'm looking to dabble, So I picked that up. I got a really, really good deal at one of our local expos up here from Cashin.
Sweet.
And then I had talked to my buddy Joe, and I was considering putting another Corrado on, but knowing how hard it is for him to get, Shimano in timely, I kind of like the concept series from 13. I think it's a good alternative. So I bought the A3. And I like it. I like it a lot. I put one mono on it. Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. I was like, this is pretty damn good. But yeah, I got a nice big old backlash in it. All right, no big deal. We'll pick that sucker out.
Chris and the old reel in.
Oh yeah, you have to. I mean, are you even fishing with new gear if you don't, screw something up? But yeah, I threw a bunch of stuff at him. I was throwing a swim jig. Black and blue Senko, just looking to get bit. What else did I throw? I didn't even throw a jerkbait. I don't think I even tried that. But I ended up on a spinnerbait, and I don't traditionally go to a spinnerbait. Look at that.
Spinner. It's me today. That's why I love fishing, because like you can go all around the room and talk baits and stuff with people, and one person will be like me, for example. I hate drop shot, and then you can have 10 people go, oh, drop shot's the best. Or you go, yeah, I don't really usually throw this. I don't have a spinnerbait. The Inquisitive Prince, the $2 bomb. Thank you, brother. Caught a PB today. 5.5 pounds on a spinnerbait. That's a tank. Congrats, dude. And spinnerbait's one of my top 3 confidence lures of all time. So, I'll drink to that.
Different strokes, for different folks. And I think that's, I like, for me, if there's a goal, it's just to try to learn as much as I can to be as versatile as I can. Like I really look forward to the day where I'm thinking about the baits that I'm choosing based on things that I know work versus I heard
was for you too, Bobby.
What's that? Do I find it tip
heavy? The Cashin?
The Cashin? No, I don't. It's got a whole lot. It's got quite a bit longer of a handle to it, so I think it actually balances out pretty well. And I mean, that A3 is pretty heavy, so it does kind of balance out nicely.
Philip Cheek, another huge supporter of my channel, he said the hostage takers didn't set Dizzle up with a proper monitor for live chat. Amateurs. The chat about you, Randy, has been on fire tonight. Just the whole hostage situation.
The shenanigans are gone. They have gone wild.
Oh my gosh. There's Kyle Skaggs in here. He said, hey, Hella. Yeah, I did see Rich in here. Rich, I posted one of your questions. Oh, there he is. Mr. Rich Hellabass, another good guy. Arthur in here. Dizzle, blink twice if you're okay. Okay, so Bobby, my question, actually, that I was going to ask you right before we were talking about the spinnerbait, what are your, let's say, top 3 confidence lures? And not necessarily I'm going to tie these on to catch a fish. Like if you and I went out for a day and I said you can catch fish on anything today, I have a genie, what would be like the 3 things that you love to just throw and catch fish?
Oh, that I just love to throw?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And maybe throw a confidence bait in there. Like I know I can get bit on this. I go to it when times are hard. Like, so for example, I'll say like for me it's going to be frog, like love to fish, even if I'm not catching fish. Even if I just get a blow up, I'm good. I'll keep fishing a frog, even just for blow ups. I like a rig would be like my fish catcher, and then like spinnerbait would be another top confidence. So go ahead. I want to know about you.
I like a big wake bait. Like I really like the Spro BB2 Rat.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do. I like a big wake bait. It's just fun. There's something about it that I like. I will throw.
Now, I have to interrupt you there since you're a wake bait guy. Do you throw other wake baits besides like a big rat? Do you throw like the little like crankbait looking type? Or
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what do you find to be like the key times you're throwing a wake bait and getting bit, or like what conditions do you look for? Because that's a bait that I want to work on more. I never throw them. So when do you like look in your tackle box and be like, ooh, today'd be a pretty good wake bait day?
What I look for is like that twilight, like low light levels, I think work really, really well, or slick calm with lots of overhead cover.
Interesting. Okay.
I felt like when it's slick calm, but you have like trees that go overhead, if you just kind of pop a wake bait, in that area and then just kind of like stay under the cover with it, it's dynamite. It helps if it's loud. So the bigger ones I think are even better, which is part of the reason why I'm so into that Bruce Gillis is the same thing, because it's just a big loud wake bait. And if you're over like I like to throw something like that when the weeds are like maybe a foot below the surface.
Sure.
And just go right over that weed bed and they'll just smash it. I think slick calm water is like, for me, that's one of the best things. I like throwing a buzz bait simply because it's fun. I really do. But I think
they're a lot of fun.
My newest confident, or I wouldn't even say necessarily confidence bait, but last year my goal was to get better at finding fish. So I had gone to what I had considered to be like some of the more universal or versatile search baits. So like lipless crankbait, because you can fish it at so many different depths, and fish it so many different ways. So lipless is one, but another one, especially for bank fishing, was swim jig. I love a swim jig.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much you can do with it.
It's crazy the number of different lures you can get into, and like it'll go in waves. Like, so, if we're talking about bank fishing, like for me, because I think of things differently when I'm bank fishing versus just like let's say I go out with dad on a boat. So, like bank fishing, a swim jig is so good because you can get it in places and not worry about snagging. Whereas like, if I had a swim jig and a chatterbait on, chatterbaits are awesome. But for bank fishing, if you get around, a little bit of wood, it seems like it's a magnet to it and you're snagged.
Yeah.
So it's like there's times where, fishing from the bank, I'm getting in there and throwing things a little bit differently. Somebody else was asking about, and I forget who you were, about the wacky rig, a good weedless wacky rig for the bank. And I think I've got the answer to that. I want to fish them some more because last year I fished the Ryugi light cover, which has like I don't have any around here, but it has like a light fiber weed guard, kind of like you'd have on a jig, like a real light, like jig type deal here. But they also have the Ryugi heavy cover, which has like 2 wires. And I've been messing around with making my own stuff with Do It. So I think those Ryugi, whatever the wire those are made out of, I think those might be some of the best. But I also got, I think it was Rich Hellabass actually that commented the owner sniper, like heavy finesse cover sniper, the owner sniper hooks or whatever, something.
Yep. Oh, those are great.
Yeah. So I haven't ever used those before, but so yeah, anyway, bank fishing. And I know there was somebody in here. I think Gramps, I got to make you a moderator. I got to figure out how to do that. Gramps is always in here helping moderate, but somebody was saying that I'm being misinformational and not actually giving bank fishing tips. But hey, we got Bobby in here. We're gonna get to bank fishing tips.
I love bank fishing.
About Bobby.
I love bank fishing. I think bank fishing is the freaking greatest. I think it's the most fun, especially urban bank fishing. Like there's just like dipping behind some building, and you're just like, there's an oasis of water, and you can just get into a bunch of fish, and you're like, I never knew this existed. Where I live in Massachusetts, it's an old, we have tons of these towns, old mill towns with these factories that have been closed up for generations, and they're just not doing anything. But what's unique about where I live is we have a canal system that comes right off the Connecticut River, and that canal system holds fish. I caught a smallie out of there from a bridge overhead with a swim jig on my way to work. I just figured I'd stop, and it's been a thing. I'm not going to take a day and go there, but I'll go and I'll fish this canal and see what I can come up with. And it's amazing.
That's why I get so jealous. I'm not even going to hold my words back. I get jealous of these YouTubers down in Florida that are like, oh, I stopped on this random roadside thing because I believe it used to be like a law where you had to, or they had to, I guess the state of Florida had to stock bass and something else or whatever in like any sort of like standing bodies of water. I don't remember the deal behind that. I don't know if that's still true, so don't take my word for it. But dude, I would love to just be like, oh yeah, this random body of water. We know there's some sort of bass in here. Maybe they're not big, but like, dude, I'm jealous of that. That would be so freaking cool. Just some random little place in town or, because it's cool when you have people walking around. They're like, there's fish in there. You end up catching something, that's Kevin,
my favorite.
Kevin with the $10 bomb. He said, the only channel I feel bad that I missed the live stream. LOL. Keep up the good content, Debo. Kevin, thank you, brother. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for the donation. I'll cheers to that.
Yeah, I think the urban fishing is so much fun. I think the biggest or one of the biggest smallies I've ever caught. This was when I was like new to fishing, and I was using, I don't know, it was some sort of, old man, bright yellow fishing line. And we were bobbers and minnows just floating them
Yeah.
right next to this little roller dam. We parked at the bank parking lot, walked through it, went up these stairs and down the other side, and it's a little roller dam right there. And we were catching everything. And then, my lure, my minnow just got sucked back into this little backwash thing. And all of a sudden I stuck this huge smallie. And I'm like, this is like 6-pound test. And old Johnny's like, just yank it up here. Do it. And the picture of it, I haven't even taken the hook out of it yet. You see I have a dark blue Yankees shirt on, and there's like this yellow bright line just cutting straight across it. And he always used to give me crap about that picture. Like, dude, you couldn't even have taken the line out of there before I took the picture. And I was like, shut up and leave me alone.
You were still in shock.
Right. It was like a little super ultralight rod. And oh man, so much fun just to go somewhere and, not know, who's going to be walking up. If there's going to be somebody asking you for, hey, can I get a smoke? Or, hey, do you got a lighter? Or can I get some change? Or, hey, what you guys catching down here? Or whatever. It's so much fun just to get out and find something new that you hope nobody else finds.
Yeah, that's the best. It definitely is. It definitely is. But yeah, I mean, the other thing with bank fishing is time. For me,
That's exactly it for me too.
it's time. I'd rather drive to where I'm going to fish and then get the most time to fish instead of having to rig my kayak, drop the kayak in, get out to the spot I want to fish at, and then, put everything back and then get back to the ramp in time, to get everything all set so I can pack it up. So for me, a lot of the time, like during the week, it's just easier to do like, I'm going to fish for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and hey, maybe I'll get something. So I try to not look at it like, okay, I try to break it down by week. Have I caught anything in this last 7 days?
Yes.
Once it goes over a week, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe I should find a different hobby here.
Now,
no, I'm the exact same way because Randy and I will talk about hashtag hour to fish. Like people think you need a whole day.
yeah.
Like, oh, I can't fish till this weekend. Like, hey, if you got an hour or two, I've got kids. After work, that's the exact same for me, dude. I will go out somewhere close because you're looking at maybe 45 minutes to get the boat launched, everything put in it. Because I've got a John boat where I have to literally put everything in it, take everything out. It'd be different if I had a spare garage and a nice bass boat where I could just leave everything in it, but I've got to put everything in, take everything out for hauling it. And I mean, it's, a 45-minute debacle to launch and put it away. So it's like an hour of fishing you've lost. So I can.
Right. And Debo, we've done this 100 times before. It's like, we usually, well, not you so much anymore, but in the past, both of us would just keep rods in our truck in the passenger seat. I've had fishing rods take up more seat time in my passenger seat than an actual human has in the entire time that I've owned the truck. It's like fishing stuff, and there's just everything in the back seat, just in case you happen to drive by somewhere and you're like, wait, no, I got to turn around and go back there and check this out.
I've got an hour. Yeah,
just
exactly.
Yep.
And I didn't even mention we're already 37 minutes in. This is a fun stream going again, kind of everywhere. Not necessarily only bank fishing, but I am doing a giveaway. The winner from last week that didn't the subscribe one, and actually I don't know. I got to ask the other winner. So here's the deal. I'll throw in a custom lure, some sort of mine. I'll paint something up for you. It'll be your choice. So one lure of whatever you want. I'll sort that out with you and then throw a few extra things in. I've been cleaning. You can't really tell from this view, but look at everything is super clean behind me. Everything's organized. I got some big deals.
You have a floor
things
back
from our
there.
garage. What's that?
You have a floor back there.
I know, it's crazy. I've actually got boxes set up for people that have sent me stuff.
Look, everybody make fun of Debo now. Make fun of Debo. Look, make fun of him.
Shut up, Randy. That's the other shirt I need to get made. Shut up, Randy. But Mr. Bobby, with the LED lights in your background, are you in a band? Do you do production? So tell us about your other job and why you have the fancy stuff and the nice laptop.
So I'm an event DJ. I do, weddings and parties, and I'm also a game show host. So I host, trivia in bars and restaurants, and I do private events and all kinds of different stuff. So again, when 2020 made itself available, I decided to take some of the gear that I wasn't using a whole lot. Once we started doing this, we started doing some live stream stuff. And instead of this awful brick wall behind me, I decided to just kind of like put one of my old lighting effects that is really too big to carry around. And I decided to use it to just decorate the walls. It works.
I like it.
Yeah.
I was going to say Michelle, my wife, was going to get me an on-air, like little, neon sign thing. Yeah, she saw it at some like place or something. I'm like, dude, you should have. That would have been awesome. I could have put it like back yonder on air for live, because like it looks cool to have like a different. And Mike, as I know, I'm sure yelling at me. He's a production guy. I need to get the yellow lights switched out because I've got a couple like white lights here. You're not supposed to mix the white with the yellow, and I'm horrible at that stuff. So people have helped me along the way with tips and.
Debo, I don't know. Just I'm addressing this comment towards you, but Gramps just mentioned recently, and I have to assume it's towards me, that watching this live is kind of like partially watching a Dexter episode. So I don't know if you've ever watched Dexter before or not.
I've never watched Dexter. No, I've heard of it. But I couldn't say anything.
Let that marinate and see how that goes, bud. Don't worry, I'm not going to chop you up and take a slide sample of your blood and do so.
Good golly. Fish Daddy Arthur with a $5 bomb. I was kayak fishing on the Blackstone in Rhode Island and saw some dude fishing from his mill apartment from the window. Pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Is that right in Providence? Sounds like it would be right in Providence. I mean, everything's Providence, Rhode Island. It's so small.
I would love to go back up there again. We didn't fish at all. I remember there was some park up by Howich. There was like some craft show or something our wives wanted to go to, and there was this big huge pond, and there was some guy fishing like with a bait caster. It looked like he was bass fishing. I always remember that. I'm like, gosh, I should have brought my stuff. We flew up though, so it's like I would have had to have had a little telescopic travel rod or something.
Oh, pocket fisherman.
Oh, the old pocket fisherman. Dizzle broadcasting from his waterbed. Yeah, probably. It's all right. Hey, Dizzle, did you freeze? You're frozen. Oh, there we go. We're just happy to get Dizzle in here. He's on location.
I am. I'm on location, and Devo always gives me a guilt trip about joining, and no big deal. I enjoy it. It's fun.
We love you, fella. Here's a good one. Mr. Randall Williams-Silly talking about somebody that I need to do an unboxing from. Good supporter. This or that. We love this or that's, Bobby. So if you have any fun this or that's you want to throw out there, I don't know if Mac's in here. Mac shared a post with me. The what the hell is their name? MTB Fish Carls or whatever their store is. Shared a thing about this or that baits on Instagram. He's like, dude, they owe us royalties. And I'm like, yep. They owe Mac royalties. Mac is the guy that started the huge this or that trend on my channel. So I agree. Mac, they need to pay you, send you $100 for free baits. So this or that Dobbins 703 crankbait or the St. Croix Mojo glass bonus. Which would be the least likely to get to? Oh, I think he's saying who would be the least likely to get divorced?
Which rod? Is the Dobbins rod expensive?
The 703 CB.
Is that the champion? If Rich is in here, Rich will tell us real quick. He's a Dobbins expert.
Let's go ahead and look.
Rich, are you in here? Is that I think that's the champion. Maybe not. Maybe it's the 703 CB is the Fury.
The Fury is affordable.
I think it's about the same. I think the Mojo Glass, they're both around 130 now, if I remember right. I don't know. I actually don't own either of those. I own a Dobbins Fury that I love, the 733 and the 745 or 7. I don't remember. I don't know. Randall, you own the Mojo Glass, don't you? The crankbait rod?
Yeah, I have a Mojo. I like it. It's a great rod. I mean, I've had it for years. It's probably needs to be replaced. I don't know if I would go back with a Mojo for sure or not. There's just after that whole Avidex incident, I I don't know. It's pushed me a little bit away from the glass rods.
I've only used a glass rod once.
Really?
Yeah, I have. I've only really been fishing seriously for like a year now.
Oh, how long? You just cut out how long?
About 4 years now.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used somebody's glass rod just to try it, because that's the thing. Like, I'm down to try,
Mhm.
figure out what it is. And that's the thing that I find is that since there's no like standard, like one brand's moderate might run faster than another brand, because of the
100%.
like, it's just, so it's kind of like, just use what you're kind of more comfortable with. I'm a little bit funny. I like to run my reels a little bit faster than normal. So lots of times I'm running stuff where most people would think like, oh, you should slow that down and throw it on a 6 or even a 5. My swim bait combo is a good example. Like, I put an 8-speed on there because just for me, I know that it's easier to slow down than it is to burn it and maintain any kind of like consistent, but that's just me. There's other people might work otherwise. But yeah, it was this one glass rod. I didn't love it. So like, I just like something with a moderate, action, and I'm good. I think that Fury is going to be
Go ahead.
I think the Fury is going to save the marriage, though. I think.
Sorry, I was sliding, or I was scrolling down. I skipped the second part of the question.
I'm a big proponent for doing whatever you want to,
Yeah.
with whatever kind of setup or combo or reel that you want to. I don't really like to stick with what the book says when I fish.
Oh yeah.
I just kind of like to do whatever feels right.
I think.
Yeah, and I was gonna grab I don't know where I put it. I just got a rod from TFO that it's a composite, so it's glass and graphite. I think it's a 40-60 mix or 60-40 mix, however you want to say it. And I can't find the rod, but it's gonna be my Chatterbait rod, and that's actually what they recommend that one for. And I actually got to speak to the folks over at TFO, and going back to the whole the whole glass rod deal. So glass is generally going to be a little bit bigger around. So, like graphite rods are pretty thin, like diameter or small diameter. Whereas with glass, usually you're going to go, get a little bit bigger around in comparison. But that delay, because I don't want to say they're less sensitive, actually, I guess. Your rod, when you get that bite, it's going to start to bend over a little bit. And that delay, so many people will talk about, like, if you guys go watch a Brett Height video, he's big on like a glass rod for a chatterbait.
Yeah.
So it's something I want to mess with more for some of my moving baits, because back in the day I used to fish them a lot. When I was younger, Dad had a ton of glass rods, and then they started getting into graphite more, and but it hasn't been until recently that I've had, I had that Lew's graphite rod for a long time, and then just kind of a couple sprinkled here and there. So I want to try that more, because the folks at TFO were saying, like, we've talked to a number of the pros that say, that glass or composite, you'll see your hookup ratio go up a lot more on a chatterbait, because specifically, I don't know why with the chatterbait, when they talk to pros, they say they always almost exclusively hit it from behind. Yeah. So when there's that delay, so instead of feeling that tick right away and trying to set that hook, they get it and bite it, and they start to bend that rod over in that delay. So from actual grab to the time you feel it, it's got it in its mouth, and you're able to set that hook. Supposedly have a better hookup ratio and stuff. So it's something I want to try. I know a lot of guys do that. A lot of guys like a glass rod for chatterbait and stuff. So
now, do you guys keep a database of everything you catch?
No, I don't. Do you? Like a diary type thing?
I do. I need to organize it. I've only got a couple of years of data in there. But Sean, the podcast with me,
Sean the fisherman. Yep.
Yeah, he's been a big proponent of taking he's an Air Force guy, so like he's all notes, details, all this. And he's got at least like a decade of details all laid out.
Wow.
Conditions, items used, things like that. And it's those kinds of things that I'm interested where, because then, if you're taking the notes and you had an idea of you were using Like, Debo, what are you using for chatterbaits right now, generally? Although you might be tough because you're always trying new stuff.
I do try new stuff, but like if I had to pick one, it would be the and actually I have this one here because I haven't cleaned off my desk. But as a bank angler, if you all want a bank tip, if you bank fish a lot and want to throw a chatterbait that doesn't hang up a lot, cross eyes is absolutely money. So
yep, money in the bank. Money in the bank. What about you, Dizzle? What are you for? Like, what do you generally throw a chatterbait with?
Dizzle's like, I throw a chatterbait that doesn't have a blade on it. It's a round head, and they call it a finesse chatterbait jig. I throw finesse jigs.
Yeah, it's a finesse jig. War Eagle makes them. I throw them a lot. No, honestly, I don't even know what it is right off the top of my head. I know it's probably a little bit overkill for a chatterbait. It's the Lose. What is it? The Custom Pro Debo.
Oh, the reel, yeah. Yep, the Custom Pros, the first.
Because it's the combo Custom Pro reel rod.
I think he's asking what chatterbait do you throw or what vibrating jig?
Oh,
do you like?
Which one specifically?
The combo. That's what I'm wondering. The combo.
And well, Christ, I answered it wrong.
That's a graphite rod, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. If you've got the data, so you're like, okay, so let's look at how many fish I caught on any kind of bladed jig. And filter through that and then get that information and say, so on this date, I'm going to switch and I'm going to use maybe a more moderate graphite rod, or I'm going to use a glass rod, something that's parabolic, and compare it like, okay, so let's look back the last 2 years. How many years have I been fishing? Then we'll give it this year. Well, now I'm fishing a chatterbait, and then, come up with the averages generally of, I caught X amount of fish on a chatterbait using this rod. And then when I switched, I thought it would be interesting to see that stuff laid out. That's part of the reason why I think everybody should keep some kind of a database. And it doesn't have to be an Excel spreadsheet or anything. That's nice because then you can filter things out. But like, use an app, utilize, set up fish and use it privately, and track all your catches information. Actually, their filters are really good. Or if you're like me and you're super lazy, Angler is awesome for keeping those records because there's a little notes tab where you can put any kind of info right there. It's a little bit harder.
Pictures. That's what we talk about too. Just take pictures. You can go back and look. Yeah. I was just talking to Dad about that today. I'm like, man, last year it was, approximately this is what I remember it being, but I had the pictures of I was throwing this. And so even keeping something as simple as that, if you don't have a bunch of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I would get almost a little bit too deep into the weeds if I was to start trying to keep track of everything. Cause I would want temp, line, what the sky was. Is it overcast, sunny? What was the wind? What was the water temp?
Yeah.
What line I was using, the
that's
rod,
a big
reel,
thing
everything.
Too. Yeah.
It's all factors, get that.
But that would be amazing to have, just a booklet of data just to tell me like, okay, 3 years ago, because, everything with fishing seems to be cyclical anyway. It's like what works today isn't going to work tomorrow, but maybe 4 days down the road or 2 years down the road, this thing's going to blow up again, just like a chatterbait or a spinnerbait and things like that. So,
I was going to ask, Bobby, do you see that from fishing, hard the past few years? Do you see lures that when you first got into it, people were like, these are the best? And actually, before we get into this, Government Steez, I've had your comment up here for a minute. I'll use the lure at my fishing bachelor party. I'm not sure what this was to. I'm way behind, but you dropped the donation, $333. I appreciate you, brother. And I'm not sure if you meant for the giveaway. Anybody, the giveaway is going to be open to everybody. You don't have to donate. Of course, anybody that donates, I thank you so freaking much and tip my hat because, like Bobby said, we're just guys who love to fish. So I will cheers to that. But no, you don't have to donate to be entered in the giveaway. Anybody, I'm just going to pick a random person tonight. So
nice.
But I was going to ask you, do you see lures from when you first started fishing? People are like, dude, these are the best. And you had really good luck on, and you've seen the decline in effectiveness of those and other lures that have kind of risen up.
The one thing that I think that comes to mind is the prop bait, a whopper plopper specifically.
That's funny that it's not as effective as it used to be.
I feel like it's like I started throwing one when I first started fishing. It was one of the first top waters I really looked into because it was relatively simple to figure out. It was versatile.
Sure. Yep.
It was great, and it would just kill them. It was awesome. And for some people, it is still a huge confidence bait. I totally understand that. But I do feel like they just get seen that much more regularly now by fish that it doesn't really, but I mean, fish, they're just absolute savages. Like they'll just, they'll eat anything based off of reactions. So
yeah, see, that's where I struggle because yeah, there was so many people around here saying that, or on like there was Instagram. I feel like there was a big thing of people sharing, oh, the whopper plopper isn't what it used to be, and I'm like, I've used it. It still catches fish. Like, look at a buzzbait. How long have people thrown buzzbaits and they still catch fish?
Yeah.
So it's like it's interesting the different take, and I'm not saying that you're wrong or that anybody that would say that is wrong. It's just interesting the different looks or takes. You can kind of look at fishing. So again, there's no right way to fish, folks. You don't have to get angry. We can agree to disagree, but. Dave Washburn. Actually, this is a really good one. I'm going to be way behind. This is from 8:15. Good Lord. This or that. Debo painting video or jig making video? Let me know in the comments. What should I make next? Because I do want to do more of this, and I'm interested to see. Dude, the painting videos don't do the best, and I understand it's kind of a small, a niche group of people that want to watch me paint. Jig videos usually do better, but let me know. I'm interested.
I got a this or that for you guys.
Yeah, what do you got?
I got a this or that. And they're really close. Finesse Jig or Ned?
Are you ready to get Spartan kicked? Randy's actually going to drive up there now and Spartan kick you.
I mean, it's split 50-50. I can say that right now between the two of us. Not that
you're lying.
Either one of us is going to be one way or another, but there's been days where it's gone vice versa between us. I've caught him on my jig and DEBO'S caught him on a Ned and vice versa. Mm-hmm. And then there's days where, I've begrudgingly, kicked the jig to the side and picked up a Ned. Granted, that hardly ever happens.
Yeah.
And then the same thing goes with DEBO. He'll throw on a jig. But for me, hands down, I'm going to throw a jig. I don't leave the house without... Don't leave the house without a jig rod and the jig tied on.
Yeah. What is the lightest finesse jig that you throw, Dizzle?
I primarily, what's the War Eagles at 3/8, isn't it, Debo?
Yeah.
3/8, yep.
Yep.
I think I gave you some of those Z-Man, those little finesse quarter rounds, and I think that's the lightest we've thrown on casting gear.
Yeah. The quarter is... I have noticed, and I wish War Eagle would, drop down one more size, just because there's been times.
I feel like 5/16 is.
Yeah, there's been times where DEBO is just that little bit of weight change. He is, he's getting through the stuff where I'm having to retie every other cast. So, yeah, it's I'm saying jig hands down. I love jigs, and you'll never take a jig away from me.
I love throwing a jig. I really do. Now this is an alternate this or that. And DEBO, I'm curious about this for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Open hook Ned or EWG Ned?
Okay, so my answer is going to be, since we're bank fishing tips, and I don't want to let the folks down because I don't feel like we've gone into the bank fishing tips a ton. Because, as I said, we kind of got off track.
I just kind of touched on that a second ago. Lighter weight for jigs, bank fishing. You do better than me sometimes. Okay.
Is that a question?
No, I like your shirt, though.
I hate you. Shut up, Randy. I've got to get that Shut Up Randy shirt made. Bobby and I were just talking before. He has a buddy that he gives crap to, except he said his buddy's actually nice and kind of soft-spoken. I'm like, man, that would be awesome to have a buddy like that's nice and soft-spoken that I could give crap to. Randy threatens to kick me in and or steal my fishing gear and knock me out every time we go out. So I'm like,
but DEBO,
looking behind
DEBO's
me like
already ready with all of his rods and thousands of rods and reels already rigged up, and he's sprinting to the best spots every time we get to the fishing spot. And I'm just like, hey, I need to tie up. Oh, wait, you're way over there. I'll see you when I see you.
He makes it sound like he's this nonchalant fun guy. You're ill prepared. Randy gets there, he's like, hold on, I don't even have a reel on this rod. I got to line it up too. I don't even have any line on it. I'm like,
I'm gonna go down this up real quick. No.
Yeah, can I spool this up? Hellabass Rich also did throw in the chat his new code. Make sure you guys use that for 10 or 15% off I just got an Omnia order, Rich. Thank you. I use your code. Hopefully it helps. But if you go to Omnia and fish the OMHB22 April, we appreciate you, Rich, for helping my subscribers and such save a little bit of money. But Bobby, I would say for bank fishing, I don't say game changers very much, but the EWG style Ned head is a game changer for bank fishing.
I agree. Yeah.
100%.
Because I mean the Ned catches fish, and there's only like certain places around here where I can throw an open hook Ned like confidently and be like, I'll catch them and not get snagged every other cast. Man, that EWG Ned, you can come up over a log or, you know, a little bit of brush and come right through it. It's not an issue from the bank. So
I went out fishing today, and I was just like, I don't have any of my size, zero fishing equipment with me. I stopped at Walmart. I bought some Neds. They had no EWGs, and I think I broke off 3 of them. I broke them off. I mean, EWG is a game changer, and for me, I'm very impatient. I am an instant gratification type of person. I want it, and I want it now. You know, I don't want to wait for a package to show up, even if it's going to be here the next day. I want it right now. You know, and I don't find a whole lot of places that have a lot of EWG Neds.
They're not common, and the manufacturers that make their own, it's hard to get the hooks. I think is really the big challenge, because you need a hook with a little bit more shank up on the right under the eye in order to get that kind of bend all set. So it's tricky, but yeah, I'm with you guys 100%. Like, I think EWG Ned, there are people who argue it's not a Ned, it's not this, but I started throwing a 16th ounce tungsten EWG Ned because we live in Mass, and Massachusetts is one of those states where lead jigs under an ounce are prohibited, which sucks.
Really?
And yeah, and we have little Mr. Bates,
little baby
D-bomb on an EWG Ned. This is my go-to for bank fishing. Yeah.
Funny you should say that. There happens to be a DEBO'S surprise. Ah, so cool.
It's all. I love that plastic. I love that plastic.
It's an awesome plastic. Yeah, really good. So I was going to ask, that kind of spurred. What did I put up here? I was actually going to look. Somebody asked about the Loomis's. Was that the one I put on here? Oh, this was the one. Mike, the E6X. I know a lot of people kind of talk crap about that Loomis, like, oh, it's not a high end. Dude, I freaking love that rod. There was a couple days where I destroyed them on that. I don't know that I have it near, but they have like a new version of the E6X. So I got the old ones marked down for like nothing, and I think they're regularly like $150, $200 rod for like $80, something like that. So I don't know if you can still find any of those. But look at, I don't know if Gramps is still in here. Go check out American Legacy, because oftentimes they'll do used drops. And I got a used new G Loomis. I brought it up here. Hold on. I'll share with you all on Tackle Warehouse, because I can never remember. I'm not a big Loomis guy. I can't afford to pay $500 a rod. But I wanted to kind of mess around with some of those to see. Let me share my screen real quick. Am I sharing? Did it work?
Well, there we go.
Yes.
Yep, you're good.
So the new ones that are like 200 and something bucks. And I really like the rod. Haven't got to fish it yet, so I can't give a full synopsis. The GC, it's not that one, it's the red one. I got the worm one. GCX Jig Worm. Yeah, so the regular $250, and I think I got mine for $100 off, $150, which to me is a damn good deal. Yeah, this is the one that I got. Feels really good in hand. Obviously, Loomis makes really good rods, so I would say check out American Legacy if you're looking to find a Loomis rod on sale. So I think American Legacy is one of the biggest Loomis dealers or sellers. I don't know what the hell you call it, but check them out. Nice. Damn it! And I had a question for you, Bobby, and I don't remember where we were going.
Well, think about that, because Government Steez put something out here, and he says, advice from anyone at all: if you're bank and light kayak fishing with 10 other people, what lure would you go with? Trout, bullhead, maybe bass.
The ones they're not using.
You know, that's exactly what I was thinking. If I'm fishing with a group of people that size, guarantee that a Panther Martin spinner, inline spinner is going to.
Oh, absolutely.
Guarantee. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I would honestly, I would probably throw a Ned rig of some type. as light as I possibly can with a flat shaped plastic so that it kind of glides a little bit more in the water. In fact, I might even use a small paddle tail.
That's actually where I was going. I was either going a small paddle tail or not this big, but a really small grub.
Yeah.
Small grub will catch anything. Like if you don't care, just bass, like a little 3-inch grub, 2.5-inch grub.
Yeah.
Underspin
so much
all day long. I guarantee you, if you're going out fishing with 10 other dudes, and this is, he was talking about bachelor party or something earlier. I'm assuming that these dudes are just, not even weekend fishermen. I would say throw an underspin, throw something that isn't exotic for your everyday fisherman, but for somebody that fishes 3 times a year, it's super exotic, like chatterbait, even something like that could potentially be pretty good. But like I said, I'm going with underspin.
Yeah, I could definitely go see underspin.
I love
G-Fan,
underspin.
I was gonna shout you out. I don't have your box here, but I think you're on the lineup for not this next one, but the one after that for unboxings. But G-Fan for sure, without question, wins the coolest packaging for a subscriber sent in tackle. G-Fan's one of my JDM dealers, him and Chanch.
There you go.
Who sends me the good JDM stuff. And G-Fan just recently, too nice of you, brother, to send that stuff in, but him and Chanch send some really cool stuff that you don't see around here. So G-Fan, I will get to unboxing that, and you will be named as the winner for coolest packaging. People will see why.
Hey Debo, just as a quick side note,
I gotta go pee. I'm gonna let you guys answer this one. Yeah, what do you got?
Wait, hold on, don't go yet.
Oh, Tequila Sunrise. I know that color. You don't even have to show me the name of it.
Yeah.
What were those ribbon tails, or what were they?
Yeah, it's a 7.5-inch ribbon tail. I was looking because I went to, like I said, Walmart today, and I was like, hey man, I need Tequila Sunrise because it's going to catch me something. I have to assume the water that I was in didn't have any fish in it because nothing bit it, but this is a quality bait, man. The color is...
They could have been finicky. I mean, I feel like the ribbon tail worms like that do better in the summer.
I did pull it down and cut it off, but the actual ribbon tail part of these is really, really long versus what the body is. So
I like those.
I'm
gonna
chalk it up to user error on my end.
Here's a good one. How many rods does everyone take to fish on the banks? Average. What do you guys take? I gotta go pee. I'll be back.
So this is a good question. And I have to say, there's going to be a couple of different answers to it. If this is like a quick outing, 4 hours or less, I'll probably take 4, maybe 5. If this is going to be a full day event, so when Debo and I go out, it's, we start out early in the morning and we fish until 5 or 6 o'clock at night, going spot to spot, hitting the banks, hitting all these spots. I'm probably going to bring 10 different combos with me. Easy 10 different combos.
Yeah.
I remember I took a picture a while back of the bed of my truck when Debo and I were still, going out together. And there was probably a solid 25 rods in the bed of my truck between the two of us. Easy 25 rods, just because it's like, one spot's going to be super grassy where you need some heavier rods to throw frogs or something like that. And then you're going to go to a finesse spot, then a rocky spot, then some riprap and grass and all of this stuff. So for me, I would rather spend my time casting and switching between different rods than having to cut off, retie, all that stuff.
Yep. I definitely get that. And actually, I was going to say, that's interesting because I usually bring no more than 3. I try to minimize as much as I can. And that goes even to, so what I carry when I bank fish is I carry a sling bag from Samurai Tactical. It's got 13700 box that I kind of call my day box. That's where all my jigs and hard baits go. All that stuff goes in that. And then I have a 3600 box that's just my terminal tackle. And that's packed. I mean, that's packed to the gills. That's probably the heaviest thing I have with me because I just want weight options, hook options, you name it. And then I've got a wallet for soft plastics. But in the truck, I have my kayak crate, my bag, and I have the Bass Mafia, the money bags.
The money bags, yep.
And that's chock full of plastics too. You know, so I keep all that. But I always, whenever I go anywhere, if I'm bank fishing, I take all the rods I have. And
okay, so let me clarify. Taking and actually fishing with is two totally different stories.
Totally
what
different.
will happen is I will have 10, 15 rods in the truck and I'll use 3.
Yeah.
You know, they're all there, but
That's
you know,
exactly
through process of elimination throughout the day, it's gonna, you know, the amount of rods I'm taking is going to decline, you know, actually down to the water.
Oh yeah. And I usually try to pick like a spectrum, you know. So like there's always certain rods that I'm definitely gonna have. I'm always gonna have a 7-foot medium heavy with a fast reel. Always. But I also carry additional reels in my bag too. So like I've got, you know, a fast reel, you know, or spools of mono, you know, or braid or whatever, so I can make a change to it. Yeah. I mean, it's like it sounds super luxurious, but it's really a pain in the ass because you're like, oh, this is the right combo. So let me take this apart and fix this and do such and such.
Yeah.
It really is like MacGyvering everything. Like, so when I'm on my kayak, I bring all my rods. The only ones that I'll leave out are the ones that I know I'm not going to throw, the ones that don't get touched a whole lot. Like I have a 7-foot medium heavy spinning combo. And I was
just going to say the spinning rod's going to stay in the truck because it's only going to tangle up with everything else and it's going to piss you off and you're just going to want to throw it overboard.
But in the kayak, I take 2 spinning. And then I take
really?
Yeah. Well, because I have one that always has a drop shot tied on. And I have one that is for weightless plastics, Ned rigs, stuff like that.
Sure.
And then, you know, I mean, I have one heavy rod, a 7, what is it? A 7 heavy rod.
Okay.
I have a medium heavy rod that's a 7 foot. I have a medium power bait casting rod that's a 7.2 with a moderate fast. And then I've got the swim bait combo, that one. And that's the newest one to get added in there. So I just kind of like to have like a variety. And if I take that back. I have a 6.2, a 6.10 that I use for jerk baits and other like top waters that aren't frogs.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like I said before, I want to be as prepared as physically possible and whittle down the arsenal depending on where we're at.
Yeah, and I was sharing Rob, Nathan, there was a bunch of people that were saying, I would say like 2, 3 bait casting and then a spinning is usually my deal. Even 4 like total, 4 or 5 total. I don't mind walking around with some rods, even if we're on a big pond or like a lake. I don't mind walking around with 4 or 5 rods. Yeah, but like, Randy and Bobby were saying, I'll have, 10, 15 in my truck. Obviously I can't use them all, but if we go to a spot where there's a frog, I've got a specific frog combo that I know I'm not going to be switching out, dedicated to frogs. And if I know it's a spot with a bunch of lily pads or a bunch of scum and stuff, I'm limited to what I can throw. So I'm just going to grab the couple things I can throw, swim bait, maybe a stick bait, Texas rig stick bait, and my frog. And that's it. Whereas if we, pond hop to a different spot, it might be Ned rig, crankbait, shaky, and you don't need all that, starting out. I started out with just, a couple combos. Use what you got, but for me, as it being a time thing, it's easier for me just to switch combos and go back and fish than it is to have one and keep tying and retying and.
So the funny thing is real quick, Dave Washburn, he just made a comment: 4 rods, 1 weed eater. The hilarious thing is there's a few spots
we've talked about that.
We've gone to where they have, those old school, the push lawnmowers where it's just the 2 wheels and a blade that spins on itself. I got access to one of those and I've debated over and over and over again if I'm going to bring one of those things out with me, because there's a couple really good frog spots that we go to where you're, wading through tick infested, snake infested, like ankle deep water sometimes, like mucky muck where, oh geez, here we go, Debo. What's funny?
No, I was South Jersey fisherman says Neds only belong in the trash. Ooh, South Jersey, that's harsh, brother. It's harsh.
I'm not even.
Yeah, Ned Cross. Dave Washburn said Ned Cross especially. I was almost going to call you Ned. Dave, I agree. I've actually had more success on little like Ned Cross than I've had with like the regular TRD around here. So,
I bought.
But anyway, sorry to jump in, Randall. I was.
I bought 4 packs of plastics today. I bought this one actually on accident, but it's the TRD Trickle. It's more of a. Yeah, I'm gonna use that more as a like kind of a trailer, and then obviously the Tequila Sunrise, which is normal, and then I don't know necessarily why I grabbed this color, but just a regular Ned, and then
Copper Truce. Oh, don't just say why did I grab this color. You're gonna have Burley and Paul kicking you in the face if you say that.
And then of course just some Rage Craws. These are the full size. They're not the good jig trailers, but I figured I could, dual access these where I could pinch half of it off and use it as a good jig trailer, even though I don't have any jigs with me. I don't know why I was thinking that far ahead, but Neds, man, Neds are the ticket this time of year. I mean, I'm even going to say this.
There's so much hate in the chat. I'm at 8:34, so I'm about almost 15 minutes behind. But yeah, there's a lot of people saying Ned is junk, Ned is F, Ned is crap, Ned is. I'd rather die than fish a Ned. Somebody said.
And the crazy thing is like I said, I went today and I just did the crazy. Oh, I'm going to do a fishing challenge thing, even though I didn't record anything or anything like that. I bought a spinning combo today. It's super cheap. Lose Xfinity combo is like $60, and a basket full of lures. And I was primarily looking at Ned or Ned based kind of lures that I could, dual purpose.
Yeah.
There's Chris. Chris just jumped in Owl at 8:34. What's up, Chris? Bobby asking Mr. Chuck, Mountain Man Chuck, does Bobby have a code for Old Glory Outdoors?
I do have a code for Old Glory Outdoors. Jigs and Bigs. That's it. Jigs and Bigs. I think it's
is that A&D? Jigs A&D Bigs?
Yeah, Jigs A&D Bigs. And that works in store too. So if you happen to be in East Cupcake or wherever they're based out of, then you can go and you can use that in store as well, and they'll look at you funny, but they'll give you a discount.
I missed whoever.
Dustin, I'm excited to hook up with you this year. Go ahead, Randall.
I was just going to say, I missed who made the comment, but yes, those Rage and any other lures that I buy instantly get the clamshells torn out of them and thrown away in the garbage.
Oh, the clamshells?
I hate clamshells. I hate them. Man.
Randy's instantly triggered when you talk about clamshells.
Like, we could be best friends right now if you didn't like the Red Sox. 100%.
It's good to have a little bit of tension. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true.
Is that
I don't know if Bobby would get along with you as well, because you're not soft-spoken and nice like his other friends. So, So Dustin, this does excite me because yes, the VMC Rugby head is one that I used to throw essentially as an EWG weedless Ned rig head. Now, the thing that I will say is different about these, if you fish them on large, big chunk rock, I feel like they get hung up more. But the VMC Rugby head is better for dragging because it is like a football rugby-ish head. It's got a little bit of a recessed line tie, which I do like around rocks. But if you've got like gravel or hard bottom where you can drag, this definitely does a lot better than a Ned rig dragging, because the Ned rig is essentially round, right? And it's just going to fall over.
Yeah.
So if you've got anything that you want to kind of stay up as you're dragging it, yeah. Oh, dang, that's sharp. But yes, this is a good one, Dustin. Good shout out on that. Or you could always go to, and I know this is probably going to piss some people off, but you could go to, I don't have a screw lock one here that I was thinking about, like an owner one. Actually, here's one. This is going to be way bigger than I would use for a Ned rig, but you can go with like a swinging, not necessarily this head style. This is a shaky head meant to stand up like that, but they have some of these that are round, the owner ones, that you can screw into this little deal. I don't know if I'm showing that very well. There's the little screw lock, and you can run a little tiny Ned rig plastic on a shaky head, and it's about the same thing as a Ned rig.
Oh yeah, I use
people are triggered, but
creature baits on shaky heads all the time, and it's just like an sized Ned. It's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, and depending on how you're fishing it, like the Ned rig wasn't even meant to be fished like a bottom shaky head bait. It was meant to be swam, popped, kind of like hop swam type thing, with pops in the rod. So it's kind of a what I want to say, like an in between rig. I feel like is kind of what it's become. But
hey, Debo, real quick.
Yeah.
We're setting like hour 20. What are you thinking on?
Holy crap! I was
yeah.
actually just going to check here in a little bit to see if we got to an hour. Wow.
Yeah.
Bobby, how long do you have? Do you have a little while to stay on?
Time. Yeah, I got time.
Okay, let's do a giveaway here. So I always have to shout out Fishing with Gramps. I don't know if he's still in here or not.
Yeah, I think
actually here we go. Government Steez, stay fishy. He must have just left. Thank you, Fish and Friend. Appreciate the donation. And I know there's a couple other that came in here, but I'm going to get the giveaway up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And again, for anybody just joining in, you don't have to donate. This is to anybody. I'm going to pick a random here, and we're going to do hashtag. And I'm going to tell you here.
Oh, geez.
If it decides to come up or not, I'm clicking on my giveaway tool thing. There we go. Pick this, and we're going to do hashtag this. Now, we could make a rainy joke, but I'm not. We're keeping it simple. We're going hashtag Bobby.
Look at that.
So drop a hashtag Bobby. The
what happened?
winner tonight gets.
Am I still here or are you still there?
What's that? Can you hear us? We can hear you. Looks like his hostages have cut off his internet connection.
Somebody said hashtag thick in the comments.
Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy. Damn.
A Bobby roast beef special. Here we go. We'll
Indeed.
Debo,
are you unmuted now, Randall?
You can't hear me, but 5 hours I'll be at your house.
I don't know what's wrong. I didn't mute you.
I can hear him.
We can hear you. I don't know what his deal is. I think he thinks I've kicked him out.
Perfect opportunity. Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, he's gonna drive here and slap me. Anyway, so hashtag Bobby for we've gone off the rails here. Hashtag Bobby.
I love it.
The winner gets custom lure from me. You get to pick the blank, the color pattern, whatever you want. I'll paint something up for you. Then I'm gonna throw some random stuff in. I got a bunch of extra tackle and stuff. I will hook somebody up with a cool little grab bag of things here. But rolling through, I want to make sure I get all my donations. So Government Steez, thank you. I think he jumped out after that one. Hook sets are free. Tyler in the house. Tyler, I think I posted one of your comments before. Didn't get to say hello. Hey, Tyler.
The opposite of one rod, one reel. For sure.
Yeah, the opposite of one.
Definitely.
10 rod, 10 reels. Let's see. Let me scroll through as we're getting. Here we go. Eric, that's who I saw. Eric said, do you ever have success fishing ponds in the cold winter months? If so, how do you fish them? This isn't the best question for me, Eric. I'm not like the southern states that have open water in the winter. Yeah. Because me fishing ponds in the winter, it's going to be froze over. I'm going to be in my little hut fishing out of an 8-inch hole in the ice.
We have it interesting over here in Massachusetts. We've got areas that are on the coast that get open water much earlier than we do on the west end of the state. So I think whenever I'm fishing water that cold, slowly, it's the big thing, and as downsized as possible. I think that's the biggest thing, as slow and as downsized as possible. This year, I just started throwing blade baits because I'll get out and I'll fish the rivers.
I'm not good at those. Yeah, that's a killer. Absolutely,
I haven't caught. I mean, this was a rough winter. I think the last fish I caught was on New Year's Day, and then Betty White died. So I mean, there's that.
Yeah, ice fishing saved me this year. I didn't have an amazing ice fishing year. I did catch my PB perch and some good crappie and stuff, but yeah, that saves me and that helps tie me over until we can get back to open water.
Yeah. I like the social of ice fishing. And then, I'm pretty friendly with Todd Grubbs, who I think if he could, he would ice fish 100% of the time. 100%.
Yeah, he's definitely an ice angler. He's got some cool stuff out there.
Oh my
I remember
God.
the one he posted of the big huge school of perch that he got on his underwater camera.
Oh, that underwater camera.
Gigantic school.
Yeah.
Dizzle, what was the deal there?
Hat and shirt change?
It's just a hat change.
All
This is I feel better with this one on backwards, you know, the traditional way. I just had to, I was like, hey, you know, I was trying to say, give me a second. I was going to run to the bathroom since you muted me anyway. So, you know.
I didn't mute you.
We can hear everything. Yeah.
I think you were froze.
No, why did it pop up in the top left-hand corner that said Debo muted you?
Oh, I did for a second, and then I unmuted you.
Real quick, I don't know what you guys were talking about, but Debo, how about that underwater camera I sent you, that text?
What was it?
The text, the ice fishing camera and flasher combo.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Those things
that'd be handy.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's got an underwater camera cord and the like your regular transducer in one unit.
Yep.
Which is pretty sweet.
But I think they're like $1,200 or $1,000.
Oh, I'm sure.
Whoa.
At that time, it's like, why don't you just get Panoptics? You know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Extra,
yeah.
2,000. You know, go to 2,000.
Well, I don't like cheating when I fish. I don't like cheating that much when I fish.
I need all the help I can get. I'll cheat all that I can.
I mean, I've seen a lot of videos on the YouTubes lately that say that Panoptics could potentially be the end of like solid big fish. Hot take? No, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I've heard from listeners that use Panoptics that they say that once you start, you're almost addicted to it. You know,
you're like, hey man, you got some of that Panoptics or
but it's not for every situation, you know. It
Right.
really isn't.
Yeah, I've got an underwater camera, and like once you get in a good spot, fishing with the underwater camera is so freaking fun because it's like video game fishing. But yeah, it's not. You can't run and gun with the underwater camera like that. You know, you still want to use your
Right.
transducer, and I think it's kind of the same for the Panoptics because you have to get the thing set up right, and you're turning the thing to see where they're at, and
you know, it's not an instant thing either. It's you know, you got to figure out what's an actual good fish, what's just a regular fish, what's a this or what's a that, you know.
I think just like anytime you start talking about technology and introducing something new that's a tool, I think you get people that they just panic and they're like, oh, this is gonna ruin, you know. I love, you guys ever watch any of Randy Blockett's stuff?
I don't. So that's an interesting thing. There've been people that have brought him up, and I feel like he's kind of I've kind of looked into him. There's some people that like, I don't know, don't really like him. People that love it. Yeah,
he is.
I think it was on it was on a show with Rich, and I never heard of him. So anyway, what's that?
Well, I was gonna say he absolutely hates drag. No matter how smooth it is on any spinning combo, you should know how to
drag.
How
to back reel, huh?
How to back reel, yeah. That's one of his things. One of the things that he's had multiple videos with this about, but
seems strange, but okay. I know there's people that like to, but
yeah. But damn it, I forgot where I was going with this. Something about this.
Panoptics, back reel technology.
Yeah, and he's another, you know, where you know, it doesn't, Panoptics is great, but it's it's never going to take the place of experience on the water. It's impossible. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it's just another one that when people started using, you know, side scan imaging, everybody's thinking this is going to change the game and it's all going to be, you know, it's a whole different world now. And yes, it is. Like, it's great if you're motoring around and, you know, pre-fishing and trying to break down a body of water and figure out spots.
Right.
But like, really, I don't know, like there's still a learning curve there. There's a skill set that goes with using it and, you know,
sure,
experience on the water. But yeah.
All right. I just got down to all the hashtag Bobbies, so I skipped ahead. So I might have missed a couple things, but I skipped to the most recent. So if anybody had a good question, drop it in there. We're gonna pick a winner. So random winner, you get a custom Debo bait. You can pick the lure type, the pattern. Make sure I am sharing. Yes. And I'll throw in some cool extra stuff here. So the winner is there's Pima, another Iowa guy. Noah Rezel. Is that how you say it? Noah Rezel?
Noah,
are you in here?
Real quick, must be present to win.
Yeah, I forgot to say it.
You're not good at that.
I need to go into that every time. I forget every single freaking time. You got to be present. If you're not here, Noah, you can't win. So, Ralph, I did see Army Outdoors is in here. Ronald, we already. Whoops, just skipped ahead. Already put Bobby in. Ronald, yes, everybody already entered. Sorry, brother.
Let's see. I'm watching chats here.
Way to go, Noah.
This is cool.
Frolic all day. I don't know how to answer you there, my friend. I've got an aluminum kayak, and I just got a fish finder on it last year. So,
best fish finder for a kayak. If you're looking for compact screen, Garmin Striker 4 Plus. Awesome. It's fantastic. It's easy to set up, easy to use. If you are all right with a slightly larger screen, like a 7-inch screen, Lowrance Hook Reveal is the one that I use, and it's super user-friendly. It's got side scan. It's really, really nice. And affordable. I forget the price point, but I know that the Garmin Striker Plus is a starting one for lots of people. It was the first one I started with, and I can't say enough good things about it. It's great.
I did see Noah's in here, Debo.
Okay, Noah, are you in here? I'm scrolling down. Dave said, "No, are you here?" He's here. I must be behind. I'm scrolling back.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well, Randy says he saw you. I don't see you, but there it is. Thanks, Debo. Love the channel. Okay, Noah, you are the winner. Noah, thank you for watching, my friend. And if you would please email me, debosfishing@gmail.com. Send me a screenshot of your YouTube, like where you can comment, so I know it's you, because I have had phonies trying to steal the winnings. I don't. Come on, Fishing Friends, be better than that. Must have been some random one-offs.
Bobby, you need to record Debo just like a blurb or a spot real quick with all the instructions and things like that. Must be present.
Yes, with his beautiful section.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
sexually sextastic voice of "I'm Bobby Roast Beef."
All entries was giveaway.
There it is. Oh,
man, I'm not gonna. I can't talk anymore after that. Jeez.
I know. I feel like a ripoff. Yeah. So just send me a screenshot of your YouTube, brother, and your address. I will get you a box out, and then let me know what you want. We can go back and forth. I can tell you if I have it or not. But I'll let you pick whatever kind of blank. So if you fish liplesses, I'll let you know what I've got. I've got other lures too, like actual regular lures if there's one you absolutely love. But we'll work it out. So just please email me. That's the big thing. Mike, there's Mike. Mike from Thunderhawk. You all saw me do the Thunderhawk unboxing. I got a chance to talk to Mike. Chief Mike is a good cat. Got on late, been working on a new bait. Oh, just completed a prototype. It's gonna smash. Prototypes are fun. Actually, I hope I will be getting a prototype blank from another company to test out, and I should be able to show it and stuff. But I'm excited. There was only 2 of them made, and I get to test one out.
Is it a jig?
It's not a jig. No, it's a crankbait. So yeah, I don't. However, Randy, I did get another Ned Rig mold from Do It. Put in an order, got a few things. A Ned Rig mold, and it's the production mold, which is like 6 or 7 cavities of the oh god, whatever is above a 16th and between an 8, 330 seconds. I want to say, is that right? If my math serves me right, 330 seconds.
Yep, that's right.
But it's like 6 or 7 of those, so we can try a couple of different modifications to those and find one that we like. So I think that'll be kind of fun. Not really a jig, but it'll be fun.
I'll use it as a jig.
Well, it is kind of a jig. I mean, so let us know. Okay, we're gonna start doing some rapid fire. We want to get pick Bobby's brain here on some stuff, bank fishing, because there was a couple people earlier that said, "Hey, there's not a bunch of bank fishing tips." Damn it! Listen, I just put that in. We're talking with Bobby and having fun. But start throwing some this or that's at us. I'm gonna scroll up and see if we got any good questions. But I did see one here. Let me see. Ronald, yes, we did have a winner. I said I'm behind. Did we get a winner? Noah is the winner, and he said he's here. Where was it? It was a top. I don't even know where it went. Damn it. Okay, what do you guys got?
Hey, just a real quick fun story for you. So tonight I'm leaving the lake. I'm headed back to the house. And, I have a little string on my shoulder of the shirt I was wearing out fishing earlier today. And so every once in a while, the string catches my eye and I'm looking over at it. And it's, it's just one of those things that catches my eye, Next thing I know, I look over and there's a giant wasp just like chilling on my arm. Like, I was really hoping Debo would be here for this because I was going to say it's no tick. There was a live that I think it was me and Debo and Burley and Paul were on.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he was sitting here talking. He's like, oh my God, there's a tick. And it falls off of his face onto his keyboard and something like that. So I was going to say, it's no tick, but it was a giant wasp just chilling on my arm. And I'm like, where did you even come from, homie?
Yeah.
It just got warm enough to be warm for you guys here. How are you even just on me right now? Long story short, I hate wasps and I hate ticks. And
yeah,
you don't like a lot of the creepy crawlers. And I tried to get you to hold a crawdad and you wouldn't hold it. I tried to get you to hold that snake that I caught. You wouldn't hold it.
You didn't catch a snake.
I caught that little snake.
You never caught a snake.
I literally tried to get you to hold this snake. I was just talking to Dad about it today because we were.
I would have held a snake.
Don't try to boost. Snake. Don't try to boost your macho-ness. I have vidya proof here. Hold on.
Granted, I will have you take off pikes and stuff like that for me because I don't want to get all stinky.
It was just a little guy. Remember when we were fishing? I found that little guy. He was just a little tiny.
Oh yeah, I was like, dude, set him down, let him go so he can grow. And you're like,
it could be venomous. I'm not touching it.
Throw him in the water because I'm a big.
I gotta go home. Okay, we got a ton of this or that. I did have somebody donated for Eric. Let's see, was Eric the first one? I think he was. Okay, so Mr. Randall Pink Floyd, this or that, short rod versus long rod for bank fishing. Generally, I go on the shorter end because there's trees and
define
sticks, and so I'm saying like 7-ish foot and below for most of them. There's a couple would all deviate, but 7-ish foot is my go-to for bank fishing. Whereas if I'm fishing from the bank or my john boat, like 7.2 or 7.3 is my favorite kind of all around.
So are you saying the 7 foot is the cutoff? Anything below 7 foot is short and everything above is long?
Sure. Yeah, why not? We'll go 7 foot. Yep.
Bank, I'm probably going long then because I like that 7.2 ballpark.
That's my favorite all around. Like 7.2 or 7.3 is my favorite.
I used to really be really strong on that 6.6 range, but then I kind of bumped it up.
I've found that I like when it came to bank fishing for me, especially using bait casters. And actually, even with spinning stuff now, is I pitch a lot, more than I cast quite often. So I kind of find that a little bit longer of a rod is a little more helpful. So that 7.2, 7.3 is ideal. A 7 is like, it definitely gets the job done. I try to know ahead of time where it is that I'm going. So I try to always have a plan.
That does play into it. Yep.
I'll look at maps and stuff, and I'm like, if I'm going somewhere where trees are going to be a real issue or something like that, then it's a little bit limiting. Then I might stick to like the 7, but.
Yep. Yeah, I think the big thing is the shorter you go, generally the more accurate you can be. The longer you go, you can cast farther. It's like for a frog rod for me, I like a 7.4, 7.5, 7.6. I think is what I have this year, because a lot of the spots from the bank where Rainey and I fish, I'm trying to bomb that frog as far as I can to cover as much as I can from the bank. Whereas if I'm fishing a spinnerbait, from the bank, a lot of times I'm trying to put that right next to a laydown or right next to a tree. So I don't need that, a 7 foot is fine for something like that. So
it's funny
I gotta
too.
say,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny too because it's one thing to be super accurate, and that's, but like when you're talking about bank fishing, like going back to my records, I have way more skunks bank fishing than when I'm in a kayak, way more.
Absolutely, yes.
It just
limited.
The ability to get where the fish are set up at that time. So there's definitely, it's helpful to be able to cast further distances, even if you're just casting parallel to the bank from the bank, to throw down as far as you can and work that. You have that much more strike zone that you can kind of play with. But that's the same thing. It's the obstacles that are around you. Like, it can limit you from spots. So it's tough.
I've really gotten into, it's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do type of thing.
Yeah.
Fishing with Debo, he does this thing every time he goes to cast. He does like, basically he's checking behind him if he's going to catch on anything. And for the longest time, I never did anything like that. I was just like, send it, whatever. I don't even
you pointed that out last year, the year before. I don't even realize I'm doing it half the time, and I go. And then I cast, and you can see it in my videos. I'll have to edit it out, but it's because I've had so many.
Started doing
I got a real good bank fishing tip for you guys, for everybody who's in the chat and everybody who's watching.
Go.
Get yourself. There's a company called Silky, and they make small, unbelievably sharp saws. A folding saw. Grab yourself one of those. They're cheap. I think I got mine off of Amazon for like $30 or $40 or something like that. But what's really nice is if you get to a spot and you're like, this would be so juicy, but I keep getting this one branch. You can cut your way out, and then you're like, all right, cool. We're good. I just made a spot.
I've literally
I would say be careful that I know we have some spots here that are like protected or whatever with like
you gotta know where you're doing.
Be careful. Exactly. Know where you're at. But that's a great tip.
I've taken a pocket knife and hacked away at a branch before because it was like constant getting stuck. But like that, and like talking about kayak versus bank fishing, even though you're in the same spot, better cast and things like that. Debo, I think there's a lot of spots that we go to where I'm just gonna start like just frolicking in the water and fishing. Like, there's no reason why, like, I shouldn't be able to just go, like, knee deep or something like that into the water to be able to cast. And like, I don't know why we don't do that a little bit more. I mean, obviously we don't, because we carry a bunch of stupid stuff in our pockets that we don't want to get wet. But I mean,
I do. That's why I always tell you to wear knee boots, and I do just that thing and wade out to my knees in spots.
Like 100%. What was it? 2 weeks ago, I was talking about, getting out fishing.
Boots,
Make sure you get yourself a good pair of boots, and
a good pair of knee boots, waterproof knee boots is awesome. There's a lot of spots where I can go out, just maybe 3 feet. Doesn't seem like that much, but getting out in the water 3 feet, you can parallel spots that much better. But Eric, I've had your donation up here. Eric with the 5 bomb. Thank you, brother. Mr. Stubbs Pupperoni donation. The awesome thing about Mr. Stubbs is he's a garbage disposal and will eat anything, including the girls' toys, and chew up anything that's on the floor. And when I go to clean up dog poop before I mow, it's like multicolor tie-dyed poop. But the dog that I had before, both of my dogs, all my dogs have been rescues, but love pit bulls. I think they get such a bad rap. I've worked with pit bulls for years. And she was like super hypoallergenic.
Hyperallergenic.
Anyway, she was allergic to a ton of things, so she had to be on like a very strict diet of food. So I don't know where I was going with that story, but Mr. Stubbs, yes, could definitely have pepperoni. That's where I was going with it. I don't know the roundabout. I love pit bulls and I love my Mr. Stubbs. So
Mr.
Michael,
Stubbs is a good boy.
I just showed he's been down here for how long? Oh, he actually just lifted his head up. He was laying there asleep. He must have heard me move.
He's a good boy.
Michael with the $5 bomb. Does Bobby like biscuits and gravy or gravy and biscuits? So the big question is, Bobby, do you like Oh, okay.
Biscuits and
Now,
have you ever had gas station breakfast pizza before?
Yes, I have.
Has
And
it
I've
been
heard
from
all the
a little gas station called Casey's that
I don't think they have
monopolizes the
Casey's up there.
Midwest?
We don't have Casey's up here. However, there is one listener that is we had him on. I forget where he is. He's Nick. We call him Roadkill Nick because we discovered he was a listener when he was driving home from work one night, listening to our show, laughing his ass off, and he plowed through a buck on the highway. So he texts me, or he sends a DM on Instagram at one of my trivia events, like while I'm there, and Sean happened to be in the crowd playing that night. And I'm like, Sean, listen to this. We just got this text and actually we've used him as a soundbite in the show before. And he said Casey's apparently has the best coffee. And what is it? There's some kind of like a corn fritter or something that's like to die for.
Oh, the corn bites.
Man, that might be what it is. The corn bites.
It's like
Because we're having this conversation. Well, you guys are Midwestern guys. What's your take on cheese curds?
Wait, are we talking deep fried or are we talking cold out the fridge cheese curds?
See, I'm saying deep fried, but Sean the fisherman enjoys cheese curds like straight out the bag before you even prep them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. So you get the cheese curds.
Squeaky cheese curds? They don't squeak, they're not legit.
Yeah.
Hands down. Ranch squeaky cheese curds. Jalapeno ranch squeaky cheese curds.
Yeah.
Here's one we can all answer. What's your favorite breakfast item? Let's say you're going to fish. What's your number one go-to? Like maybe not the healthy, like we're not going to get into any of that. Just like, listen, I want to have this. For me, biscuits and gravy. That's why Michael was asking. Biscuits and gravy is like my bar none favorite breakfast. So
biscuits and gravy is really good.
Honestly, so again, I can't just answer a question without following up with another question.
It's Casey's. Are we talking
pizza. Your favorite? Is it a sit down before we go out to the lake, or is it a drive on the drive to the lake?
No, we don't ever sit down and eat before we go out.
I'm just saying it was a question about the. Okay, I would love to
breakfast
find
burrito.
A
then
great breakfast burrito place. Like if I could find one of those, I would. I don't care. I would wake up 45 minutes an hour. I would wake up 2 hours early to go get that breakfast burrito because those are amazing.
Not worth it.
Otherwise, breakfast pizza.
I eat breakfast in reverse. I eat breakfast after I fish. I've stopped eating before I go out on the water.
I get that because there's the times when you get to the boat ramp and you're like, man, I gotta go, and there's no toilet there. Then
and not only
the nearest woods, and I go. So
yeah, like for me, I'm Italian. I like peppers and eggs. It's
Oh yeah, I'm not messing with that before I go out then.
In any which way, and traditionally in a sandwich, you can take it with you. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, this or that. We're gonna start firing off some of these quick this or that's. Rafael Garcia, this or that. Yum Dinger or Yamamoto Senko?
Senko.
See, this is tough because I was gonna call out Fishing with Grams. Fishing with Grams summed it up in ways that I've tried to before. You've got durability versus action, and I feel like he's put it perfect that Yamamoto has that salt content. They suck. You catch one on it, but they have a different look to them, and those really salty baits have a different action. So, as far as fish catchability, if we're just saying which one would I rather throw and catch fish, Senko.
Yeah, I think Senko's.
Yeah,
and also,
assuming I have that.
Can you find the Yum stuff everywhere? I can go any bait shop and I can find Yamamoto.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
See, I feel like the places
I feel like they're both. We can find pretty much both, the basic kind of run-of-the-mill stuff. Like a Yamamoto for us, or for me at least, I can find a Yamamoto anywhere. The color variations may not be there, but, I can find them. And the Yum, same thing. It's like, those are just, I go to, Casey's carries them, I think. Just saying.
Really?
Casey's is the
That's
best.
actually breakfast pizza. You've been putting breakfast pizza on your hook thinking it was a Cinco, Randy. So no wonder I'm out fishing you.
But it's got the shimmy.
Yeah, shimmies.
And
Randy eats his breakfast pizza down to the crust. He wacky rigs his crust. You wonder why you're out catching catfish. If anybody didn't see, Randy and I went out the other day. We had a couple hours after work. It was like 65 degrees. I was so pumped. I'm like, dude, I'm going to catch my first fish. This is like a week and a half ago. I didn't catch squat. I didn't even have a single bite. However, Randy got catfish by the catfish, and he caught a big old catfish.
Like when I hooked up on it first, I was like, that's my PB. That's my PB if that's a bass. For hands down PB if that's a bass.
Yeah.
But then I saw it come up and kind of came up and swirled, and I was like, it's catfish. Knew it was a catfish. Oh, hey, real quick, Debo. When I was out fishing today, I was looking down, because the water's down quite a bit, everywhere around here. But I came across one of these, Debo.
Oh no. Okay. So here's the story. Randy and I always talk crap about snap swivels. Now, snaps and swivels aren't a bad thing, but those snap swivels that where it's just a straight piece, I've bent so many of those out. Like, don't even waste your time, folks. I'm telling you.
This is like,
those kind where it's like just the straight thing.
And it's just bent around that little cuff.
It's not even a bend. It's a straight piece. If Randy unlocks that, Randy unlock it. It's just a straight piece of wire. Those brass ones, I don't know if they're Eagle Claw or what. I don't know who makes them, but it's literally a straight piece of wire. And I've bent so many of those out through the years. Like, it's literally just a straight piece. See that? And they bend out like nothing.
There's nothing to it. There's no little hook. There's no nothing on the backside. And it's like, I bet you if you find just a crankbait floating on the shore, things like that, I would say a solid 80-85% are going to have that snap swivel on there, and guaranteed almost 99% if you're getting snagged on somebody else's line underneath the water and you manage to pull the whole rig up, there's seven of those little pinch weights, the split shots, like 7 of them with a snap swivel. I pulled up a crappie hook.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I pulled up the other day. I was fishing with Randy and I pulled up a line that had three split shots on it, down to this weird spinny rig thing with a little crappie jig head. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? It was the weirdest thing ever. But okay, Mr. Randall Williams Sully, this or that, Chick Magnet or Ott's Garage, the OG, or they essentially the same thing. So the Chick Magnet's kind of in between. I think the Chick Magnet is like a 5-foot diver. I've only used the Ott's Garage, the 6-foot diver, and I was just looking. I thought I just had some of the 4s out. Oh yeah, I've only used the 6-foot diver.
You happen to have some right over here.
I happen to have. While I was cleaning up, I had them on my desk before, and I knew they were around here. I've only used. Here's just a quick show of the difference. The Chick Magnet's kind of in between. Haven't got to use it either, but the 6, I really liked it, but it was a little bit too deep for where I fish. So you can see a decent size difference between the two.
Okay.
So the 4, I'm really excited to try. It only goes down to 4 foot, as the name would imply. I think that's going to be a killer this spring. So how about you guys? Have you used either or neither?
I haven't used either, but that is an awesome looking color.
I want to say I have. I didn't all 3 of us have Chick Magnets the other day when we were on with Gramps, Debo?
We did, yeah. I think you had.
I want to say it was a shad
root
type
beer?
Of color. Maybe.
Yep. I think Gramps had the root beer.
Yeah. Gramps had the root beer. And
root beer.
Yeah.
Root beer is the
I'm super excited to throw it. And again, I go back to it, instant gratification. I want to see it. I want to touch it. I want to be able to get it off the peg at on the store.
Oh, wow.
Here's a good one, this or that. Armpit high grass or mid-calf deep mud.
Grass.
It depends on the grass. Jason, there's a spot that I fish here, and once it gets to be summer, I don't even go there because grass doesn't really bother me, but it's got these plants with these little tiny round hitchhiker seeds, and if you just brush up against them, you literally have to pick every single one off, and there's hundreds of them.
Yeah.
It's
so if
almost
it's just grass, armpit high grass,
almost.
I don't know. They're super sticky.
Devo,
so
I
would
sent you
for sure pick armpit high grass.
I sent you a picture the other day. I figured I was gonna, have to just move into this mud that I got into. I have boots that go up almost to my knee, and there was maybe 3 to 4 inches before the mud was up over the top of my boot. And I was like, I'm not gonna get out of this. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna somebody's gonna find my bones and all my gear, 3-4 months down the road, and I
Dead
hate mud.
Dizzle.
Mud sucks.
Yeah, I'm
It
definitely
does.
grass all day. Mud is awful. I'm getting stuck in that.
Yeah, it's
Bad.
tricky.
I've had
Tyler
mud
Hook-
ruin a good day of fishing too often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had both. I've probably had Randy ruin more days of fishing asking, when can we go home? I'm not catching anything. Can we leave? I want to
Can
go
we
to
please
Casey's.
just stop fishing topwater frogs all day long?
The other
The
day,
only
Randy and I
thing
were
you
out.
can
I'm
fish
like,
here is frogs. Mm.
I knew Randy was going to say something because the other day we were out. I'm like, actually, I'm just going to leave all my gear here. I can't catch anything. I'm done fishing forever.
I'll
Tyler
sock
Hook
you
Sets
your
of Free is
face.
going to be on in an hour, so it must be 10 Central. I think he's going to be on. Go check out his
We're
stream for all
almost
you
2
late night
hours.
folks. I know. I can't believe it. I feel like we're still rolling here. So, okay, we're going to get through a few more. Chris, with the 99-cent super sticker. Chris, thank you, brother. I will cheers to that. I love you, my friend. I'm almost out. I've got maybe one sip left. Okay, pike and tackle. This or that. Power or finesse? Power.
I like to finesse my power, or I like to power my finesse. That's the way I'm going.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go finesse. I've
Okay.
always leaned a little bit more finesse.
Realistically, my thing is I'm gonna go finesse because I feel like I actually can power the finesse for the most part. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
can't finesse the power.
With great power comes great responsibility, Randall. You can just learn. Dave Washburn, this or that. Dusk or dawn fish bite? This is an easy one for me. Dawn, I love getting up early and fishing because even after that morning bite dies, I can try to go find more fish. I love that late night bite, but it's like once it gets too dark, I can't film. I know I need to go home. It's just so much harder. I would rather fish the early morning bite because I know I've still got more fishing in front of me.
Take all of that stuff out of it. If you're just fishing to be fishing and having fun.
Either one. I like both.
Okay. For me, if it's
Morning? I like early
I
morning.
think
everything
for me,
else.
Go ahead.
yeah, I think I got to go dawn. Only because I'm always working through dusk, 5-6 nights a week. I only work like 2 hours a day, but they're the worst too for getting that dusk bite.
There's something about that late night, it's this, even if you've been out all day or you haven't been out all day, you just got done working, you just got done doing whatever, and you go out there, finally it's starting to cool down, finally it's starting to cool off. That excitement, for me at least, of throwing the topwater out there and not being able to see that blow up, but hearing it and it's scaring the crap out of you, you're just, that for me is my go-to. I like fishing into the dark as much as possible.
That's because every time we go out and fish in the dark, Randy always for like 10 minutes sings, "You and me go fishing in the dark." And I'm like, Randy, I don't want to hear it, dude.
Debo, that was our
It's
thing.
so
Why are you
weird.
sharing our things? See you,
Army
Stubby. I would
Outdoors,
leave
Ralph.
too, buddy.
Took something that was special and you just ran it through the gutter, Debo.
I know. I'm like that. Ralph, this or that. Drinks on the water. Flavored drinks or plain water? I love Powerade Zero. That's my go-to drink on the water. Flavored.
Orange Gatorade.
I like seltzers, and not the adult ones. I like polar seltzer, like either like pink grapefruit or like lemon. Just a little something
That's
there.
yeah.
But
Ooh,
I try to
think
drink like 100 ounces of water a day.
See, I'm really bad at it. Like drinking
Not 100
regular water.
100 cups of water a day.
I would say 100 ounces. Well, what's a cup?
No.
A gallon?
Maybe
100,
I think I'm a little confused.
120?
Yeah, it gets down to like about a
128?
gallon.
Yeah, I think a gallon's
nice.
120 or 128. If I I don't remember offline.
I want to say I did see Hellabass earlier. I think it was Hellabass talking about making a John Daly, which is taking an Arnold Palmer lemonade tea, but sprucing it up a little bit with a little bit of adult vodka. John Daly. Grip it and rip it.
That's a good name for it.
Nathan, Dizzle, this or that, go home or use Googans. Nathan, we know Dizzle's tried so long to be in the Guggen squad. One day he'll get in there.
I'm waiting for my placard to come in, and then it's on.
We have to have, it's like we talk about it every single live. You either love Guggen or hate Guggen. Listen, we can be middle ground. Randy and I are middle ground. I love some Guggen stuff. I hate some Guggen
100%.
things. You don't have to be all or nothing, folks. You don't have to love or hate them.
Mm-hmm.
You can like some.
Unless it comes to jigs, there's only War Eagle jigs.
Yeah, like the Rattling Ned. I love the Guggen Rattling Ned and the Trench Hog. I love those two.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some decent plastics. They're, I mean, there's nothing that I'm awful with this. Like, to me, and I know you guys are gonna hate this. To me, a stick bait is basically a stick bait. A craw is basically a craw. Like, for me, it's just more about just the application. A typical, like, I will have no problem throwing, like, I use the mini D-bomb as an example, but I'll throw the small beaver. If I'm just like, oh, I have this and it's in the color that's a little bit more appropriate, so I kind of just, I look at it like, especially if it's something I'm using just as a trailer, I don't really worry about any of that stuff, but I will say this about the Guggen stuff. They're downsized jerkbait, the Junior Scout, amazing.
I haven't used any of their hard baits. I've not used a single hard. I've only used their.
I think I've used their frogs and the what's it called, the clickbait. I don't think I've used any other hard baits.
Yeah, I haven't used
whatever their crankbait is.
I have used the clickbait before. But yeah, that Junior Scout is just great. It's just it's an ideal size, especially when it gets cold. Like this time of year is just awesome. And great for fishing from the bank too, because it doesn't run super deep.
I talk trash about the clickbait, but then looking back at it, the clickbait was the first year I got one was one of my biggest fish came off of it, and I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to bend it, and I don't want to I have to do this to fix how it runs and this and that, and then I stick one of the bigger fish that I caught that year on it.
Speaking of Casey's, I've got some Casey's napkins here. I don't know if I've got the Luke Clausen, but Grady is definitely a listener. I don't think I have the Luke Clausen one here, Grady. Grady's asking the old War Eagle, which I happen to have a pack here. Maybe I'll throw those in. I'll throw this pack in. This pack's been here forever. Somebody's going to get this. We already picked the winner. Cripes, we're 2 hours in. Good Lord. Wake up, Debo. What was it, Nathan who won? So Nathan, I'll throw that in for you. We're gonna move on. Anything besides War Eagle, you're getting beat up. So I personally prefer the Luke Clausen finesse jig. I love that jig. 5/16.
I don't think I've ever fished the Luke Clausen, but the War Eagle it's a damn good jig.
It was the first jig that I was introduced to, and it's like, it's one of those things. You're a Ford guy, you're a Chevy guy, you're a this or you're a that. For me, it's like I got introduced to a War Eagle. I caught fish on the War Eagle, and it's like, if I have the opportunity, I'm going War Eagle hands down.
All right.
He's like, quit being a bully, jerk.
I don't know what his deal is. He's whining. You got to go outside and go potty. Oh, there it is. There's the head turn. You got to go potty. Okay, he's got to go potty. I was gonna say, Bobby, I agree with you on that to an extent. Like, I think a lot of the time, and I'm backtracking here, sorry, this was still spinning in my head. A lot of the time I think presenting that bait in the exact spot is more important than a trailer that has flippy feet or straight feet, like beaver versus rage craw. But there are some times where I feel like it's completely opposite. Like, there's certain baits that I have way more confidence in, but I know what you're saying. I don't know what that was still sticking in my head, but I agree. I guess what I was going to say is I think placement sometimes is way more important than the exact plastic or, whatever that you have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Bobby, just real quick on that whole topic between the D-bomb and the
I'm gonna go let
smaller
Stubby up.
beaver.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. So they're basically almost the same type of lure. I mean, give or take a little bit of difference here and there. But for me, I like the Rage Chunk for a trailer on my jigs. It's the shorter craw. Like for me, hands down, I want something like that specifically for a jig trailer versus like a Smalley Beaver or the D bomb or something like that. So it's more of same category, I guess, of plastic. So like a creature style versus like an actual chunk or something like that. It doesn't matter for you, right? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Or
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like there's different, categories in there. Like I wouldn't put I can't think of the name of it. There's a Yamamoto trailer. People love these for chatterbaits.
Oh, the crazy super appendagey one?
No,
DEBO knows what it is, probably.
The Zacco?
Yes.
Zacco.
So like
the jointed one?
Yeah, it's jointed in the middle and it's got a vertical tail. I wouldn't put like a high-tech fatback, again and the Zacco in the same category. You know what I mean?
Sure.
No, they have a similar kind of shape. For me, it's like very specifically like a craw's a craw, a creature bait's a beaver's a beaver, a chunk's a chunk, stuff like that. Because there's something to be said about using a chunk versus a craw, because a craw
100%.
More times than not is going to have some type of different surface on the claws to make them kick more.
Yep.
It's just going to be. It's not going to be as. It's going to be not going to be as rigid either. But a chunk, a chunk is what it sounds like. It's a chunk.
Yeah.
And it does. It doesn't do a lot. So, yeah, I agree with you. You have to put them in there. I would never classify like, a stick bait and a curly tail worm.
Yeah, 100%. I wanted to make sure we were kind of on the same page there. Are you a big chatterbait guy? Do you throw a lot of chatterbaits?
I've caught some decent fish on chatterbaits. I have. What's funny is for me, the baits I lose the most are spinnerbaits and chatterbaits. It's probably a tie or a close first and close second, something like that. But I recognize, like, I was throwing a chatterbait today that I got from Matt Thayer from Klondike Custom Creations.
Oh, and Matt. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good guy. He's a good friend of the show. Awesome guy. In fact, the first spinnerbait fish I ever caught was on one of his spinnerbaits last fall. Awesome. So I had this one today I was fishing really dirty water and I was starting where my confidence was with a swim jig. And I'm like, this is just, it's so dirty. Maybe
it's not just gonna do it.
Yeah. I'm like, let's throw a chatterbait on. We'll give that a whirl. Nothing's happened. I end up getting hung up and breaking it off. And it was windy. So I decided to throw, are those from Matt?
Yeah, these are from Matt. He sent me some stuff. I've talked to Matt a little while ago, but yeah, Matt's a super nice guy. These are some bigger ones with Randy like this one. This is like a turtleback and then a Colorado blade. The what do they call it? Beat pounded out or beaten out. I forget what they call it.
Kind of hammered.
But
hammered.
There you go. That's it. That's it. Yeah. But some bigger ones, a little bit darker some muddy water is what I'm thinking. I picked these two out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I made the call today to switch to the only spinnerbait I had in my box was a white and chartreuse spinnerbait with like rusty blades. It was just terrible.
Yes, dude, white and chartreuse is money.
Third cast. Third cast. I got bit. I was like, this is great. This is fantastic. Figured I was just going to keep throwing that and see if I could put some sort of a pattern together. And I switched over to a different pond. Got hung up and broke that off. That's
the worst. That's always the worst. You're like, you got one of the lure that you want, or you don't grab the rod that is the best application for that specific lure, and you're kind of just handcuffed because you don't want to go back. And
yep, that's exactly it.
Frustration.
Yeah.
We were talking about cheese curds earlier. Bobby, poutine jumped in mind. Poutine is so freaking good. I completely agree.
Good. It's amazing.
I've never had like an official poutine before in my life.
It's terrible, but it's so good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know anywhere that around here that gets me some in my face, Definitely want to try some.
Up in my
All right.
area,
Well, I think we're good.
we're
Oh,
close
there it
to
is, Ralph.
the Canadian border, and
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
that helps.
Did they hand it to you and say sorry?
Yeah,
So
usually
sorry.
it's in French though.
Oh yeah.
He's even got the sounds, dude. You've outdone me so much.
Oh,
I gotta
jeez.
pick your brain on a setup. Ralph with the $10 bomb. Ralph, thank you very much, brother. Started fishing snaps was exclusive when I started fishing in 2012 because I was clueless and I sucked at tying on knots. Yeah, and I'm not talking crap about all snaps. There are some snaps that are great, especially for like jerk baits or crankbaits to get more action out of your lure. Then I found YouTube and was born again. Palomar for the Palomar Not for Life. Yeah, and I just wanted to say I don't have any snaps here around me, but some snaps are great. It's just those like brass ones with the straight thing.
These are trash snaps. That's the biggest thing about these snaps. Good. They're garbage. But I agree with you. Like I found the Palomar and born again Palomar. That's all I ever tie is Palomar knot.
It's a good knot.
Hands down, Palomar.
That's actually what I just tied. I was given a preview. I didn't want to say too much about it, but I found some blanks that are kind of close to the OG4. I'm going to go out and test this tomorrow because I always test the blanks before I start selling them to make sure they're actually legit. But these are so freaking cool. I put a little spinner blade on the back, but it's got a circuit board lip. So I was showing in size comparison. What the hell did they do with that OG4? I don't know. I literally just had it. Yeah, but anyway, it's almost the exact size of the OG4. That's when I had tied up. And then what was I talking about? Or where was I going with this? It is. Yep. Yeah. It's a flat side like the. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm messing around with that. I want to try that out tomorrow. I don't remember what I was. Oh, the whole reason I got it was because people were saying like a good crankbait rod's hard to find. So this is the Cash and Core.
Yep.
I don't remember how much.
What are those handles? Is that just a design or is that actually different?
It's Kevlar. Yeah. So like they have a Kevlar wrap that's really weird to get used to. So remember that Chatterbait rod I had? I think it's the
Z-Man? Was it? Or okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same wrap, but that was my first one last year. I need to do a review on it. But Bobby, I was going to ask you. That's why I got this. How do you like that handle? That's the exact reason I was going to ask.
I like it.
Feel weird.
It definitely takes a little bit of getting used to.
It does, yeah.
I like it, and I think the whole idea with it is mainly sensitivity. So my application that I'm using it for is probably not the application where that level of sensitivity is that important, really, because it's big swim baits and giant weight baits and stuff like that. But like I think. Like for Father's Day, I got my old man a cash rod, I think it's one of the Icon rods, spinning combo. He's one of those guys that he would just never spend like money on really, really high quality gear. So I put together a combo for him, and it was a cash and rod and a 13 fishing spinning reel. And we got to fish up at Champlain last fall, and he outfished everybody on our boat. He's never fished with artificials before. And
wow,
he caught a 5-fish bag that would have won him money up there. This is according to
artificial.
We're on all artificial. No, get this, on one.
That's awesome.
Guggen rattling Ned,
dude. The rattling Ned's money. It's
one.
It really is.
I was going to say you're lying if it's like probably almost anything else other than the rattling Ned because
oh yeah. I mean, just absolutely crushed it. I was like, you kidding me? And here I am. I'm like, oh, we're in like 45 feet of water. I'm going to drop a drop shot here. Oh, look, here's the smallies. I'm just going to throw this same thing, whatever. It's all good. I'm talking with the guy that we're on the boat with, and Ian's telling me, he says, oh yeah. He's like, you know what you should do? Throw a heavy jig right around here. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah, this is great. Grab that, I had this giant, would have been my PB Northern, follow a jig as I was just like swimming it back to the boat so we could change spots. And we just had the most amazing trip. It was out of this world, but he had the like fished the day of his life on one plastic. I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
on an EW.
All right, I was scrolling through. Did you guys see any more? Let's each pick a question. I can't believe we're at 2 hours and 13 minutes. This is one of our longest streams. Let's each pick a question, quick question, get out of here. Bobby, I want to be cognizant of your time. Gizmo, I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're well, brother. Leader not for braid. I don't know if he's asking or I'm always braid to a leader on my spinning gear.
Me too.
Alberto knot is my go-to for sure.
I'm a double.
Double uni is the one that I've been able to actually successfully tie.
Yeah.
Time and time again. Granted, it takes me a couple of times to actually get them to stick and not just pull apart from each other. But yeah, I have a bad tendency of just going straight braid. And whenever it's an application where Debo and I are both fishing something with a leader on it, and I'm just like, man, I don't care. I'm not retying a leader. That's stupid. He always outfishes me 10-1,
It's another big reason why on the kayak I keep 2 spinning combos.
Yeah.
So break off that leader. I'm like, okay, let's retire this rod. Throw all of our on this one.
Alberto, I'm telling you, I can probably tie an Alberto in 30 seconds, eyes closed. Like once you get a good leader knot, I feel it's one of those. It's just even if you tie uni to uni, whatever you have the most faith in, it's like once you get good at it, it's just. Eliza apparently is starting crap again in the chat. Eliza, I'm going to put you in timeout. Just kidding. Eliza's in here. Somebody was asking, where's Eliza and Caro? I haven't seen Caro either, but thanks for joining late. So what do you guys got for questions? See any good ones roll in?
Right,
no, but I just want to piggyback on the other. I don't know what they were talking about, but everybody was complaining, making comments of all the trash that they find on their banks and their shorelines and things like that. I just want to throw a PSA out there. If you're going to be fishing on the bank and you see something, you don't have to go the extended route of taking a garbage bag with you and throwing some trash away here and there. But if you see like a big pile of line or, some of those styrofoam worm containers, pick them up and throw them in your bag or throw them in a pocket and throw them away. I mean, at least that's the best thing that we can do as, people in general is, just kind of pick up after others that don't feel like it's necessary.
We just talked about this on last week's episode of the Jigs and Bigs. We talked about how I had gone to meet my buddy Paul, and I got over to the spot like about 30 minutes before he got there, and I was rigging up some stuff. And I look behind me and I see a bunch of trash that's just in the parking area up there. So I go over as I get a little closer, and it's all tackle packaging, all of it. And it just killed me. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So one of the things that I do whenever I make a stop at any store, if I stop to grab a breakfast pizza or I go and I grab, tackle or something like that. No matter what it is, I ask them for a bag, a plastic bag specifically. And I'll just shove it in my sling bag, and then I'm good. And I'll just fill that up on the way. And it sucks that we have to do it, but we just raised a bunch of money for an organization out here, Make Massachusetts Fishing Spots Great Again, that they've cleaned up more waterways and put trash facilities. Like, they're amazing. I can't say enough good things about them, but
it's been horrible. Yeah, I agree with all the comments, like worm containers, beverage containers.
I was just gonna say, 2020 was good for some people like yourself with the podcast and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, with the physical getting out and fishing industry, I've seen, so much more garbage pile up since all of that happened because people couldn't go out and do this and they couldn't go out and do that. So they picked up fishing, which is amazing. Pick up after yourself.
But they don't pick up their trash. Picked up fishing, but not the trash part.
They're like, this garbage, throw it in the water.
Randy and I always joke about that. Like when we have a break off or if we have a ball line and we're like, so we just throw this on the ground, right? That's what we're supposed to do with this. Cause we always pick up, I'll be honest. I don't pick up as much trash as I used to. Randy and I used to carry a bag like you're talking about. And there'd be days where like we'd go out and be picking up stuff, or like me, like on my local lake, it'd be like 45 minutes. I'm out picking up crap. And it's like, I can't do this every time when I'm trying to film a video.
It's like a freaking, that line on the bank is like a trip line, man. It gets wrapped around your feet. And the next thing you know, boom, there goes your knee.
Line is a big one because it can get caught up in so much stuff and you can literally just wad it up and put it in your pocket. So we always, no matter what, pick up the line. But Brian's Custom Tackling here. Brian's a good dude. If y'all want to see some cool custom stuff, go check out Brian's website. He's got some like deer hair. This is like a craw with like, I don't know if it's a deer hair or if this is rabbit. I think this is actually rabbit now that I say that. But it's got like the deer hair tail in here. He does some crazy cool stuff and awesome ice fishing jigs. I know ice fishing is pretty much over for us, but Brian's a good cat and has some really cool stuff. So go check him out. Thanks for jumping in for a while to say hello to us.
Right.
What do we got? Do you guys have a question? Each of you grab a question, and we're getting out of here.
I don't have a question. I just got to say, Fishing Daddy 401 says he's heard that you're supposed to throw your batteries in the ocean because it's good for the reefs. Obviously not true, but that's funny. Oh God.
Well, they say you're supposed to burn all your garbage, and then smoke goes up into space and makes stars.
Yeah, and it evaporates, right? I heard smoke evaporates.
I think that's what it's supposed to be. So,
Yeah, right, well, I think we're going to get out of here.
Comments. Yeah, I couldn't find anything that was in here. No, I went up here and something about Guggen is the Axe body spray of fishing lures. I thought that was pretty funny.
I don't know what that even means.
From Follicle. It's because you guys have good taste.
God.
No Axe body. No Axe body spray.
I used to have some Axe body spray back in the day. Do they even make that still anymore?
Yeah.
Well, you still do. I've seen you put before we go out there.
I don't know. I feel like I had some long ago. Okay, well, listen, folks, we're getting out of here. Gramps, I need to give you admin access too, so you can help watch in the chat. But everybody else, thank you all so much for joining and watching. We love y'all. Bobby, where can everybody find you? Instagram, your podcast. Ton of fun having you on tonight.
Oh, this has been great, man. This is awesome. You guys can follow Jigs and Bigs on Instagram. The account's just Jigs and Bigs. And then our podcast drops every single Tuesday on all major podcast platforms. If you're not, we like to refer to as not a podcast person, you can stream it for free right at jigsandbigs.com. Check it out and let us know what you think. One thing you guys should know about: our show is laden with profanity. It is definitely not safe for work. So if you're a good parent, don't listen to it with your kids. Or if you have older kids like mine, then they don't care.
Yeah, we don't. The thing is like people.
Profanity.
Yeah, it's fine. Randy and I cuss like pirates. I try not to put it in my videos because, like a lot of people, like you're saying, it with younger kids, I want everybody to be able to watch. But listen,
Definitely.
we all cuss. It's a thing, but yeah. All right, well, we're getting out of here. Bobby, thank you so much for hopping on. It was a ton of fun. Everybody go follow Jigs and Bigs. Awesome podcast, and definitely the sexiest radio fishing voice any of y'all have ever heard. So
get me a script. I'm gonna email you an MP3 this week.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
do it.
And Mike, I've tried to get Mike's on here. Mike, I can't share like my desktop, but Mike Vogel. I don't think Mike is in here. I was shouting out Mike before. He made a Debo Dink of the Week, like little like
a drop.
Like a little drop thing deal. I've tried to get it in here, but it's funny as hell. So I need to get that in. But Bobby, I will do that. But everybody else, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see y'all again next Saturday. So till next time.